What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Today, we're talking about a smash hit from 2025, written and directed by one of the whitest kids you know. We're talking about Weapons. I'm Dusty Lane.
I'm Jason Mitchell.
And we are the Cinebytes.
Weapons.
Hello?
I came for you. We have such sights to show you.
It was an excellent day for an exorcism.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
I want to play a game.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. This is God.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
But sometimes that is better.
Welcome back to Oblivion. As we stated up top, we are talking about Weapons from 2025, directed by Zach Kreger. Is this better than Barbarian, dude? I don't know. I loved that fucking movie.
Yes, it is better than Barbarian.
I think it is. This is the third time I've watched it now, and I think I like it a little bit more each time.
I didn't really care for it too much the first time. I was just kind of, I don't know if I was having a bad day. I was just pointing out all the flaws, which I still pointed them out this time, but it all makes more sense this time. I think it just needed a second watch.
Why don't you fucking relax, man? Just calm down about all them flaws, all right? Just enjoy the fucking movie.
Man, and Barbarian was good until fucking big titty
Big naked
mama
lady
monster at the end.
cave lady monster.
No, this one's way better.
I mean, I did really love that movie as soon as it first came out. I loved the setup of the whole Airbnb thing. We've got all the red flag scene in the very beginning. And I like the structure of that, but I think I like this one even better with the vignettes. I don't know what it is about that. I enjoy movies like Trick or Treat, for example. It's like an anthology movie, but all these stories end up overlapping. And I love the way that, when they're filming it, they end up tossing, they're like filming these scenes from multiple perspectives at the same time so that they can, toss these scenes in later and show, the little seeds of what was happening in the background.
Right.
And I really love that choice.
It felt very Tarantino to me, honestly.
A little bit, yeah. Studios involved here, we've got New Line Cinema, of course, Subconscious, Vertigo Entertainment, and Boulder Light Pictures. Distributed by Warner Brothers. Rating of R, runtime of 128 minutes. And we are set for this movie in Maybrook, Pennsylvania, but this movie was filmed in the Atlanta area.
Atlanta. ATL, baby.
For a plot, we've got all but one child from the same class go missing suddenly, all on the same night, all at the same time. And now we have even more questions about the Epstein files.
What?
These
All
kids,
from a weird teacher.
These kids have been redacted.
Yeah, it's a weird story. Not too bad. Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. Let's get into the cast a little bit first. We've got what I would call our main character here, I guess. It's kind of a threefer. We've got Justine, Archer, and Alex. So Justine Gandy, played by Julia Garner, who I saw in that Wolfman movie that I wasn't too impressed with, but she was decent enough in it.
Wolfman.
We've also got Archer Graff, played by Josh Brolin, who I always fucking love seeing in everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, so I recognize him as the bad cop in American Gangster. You ever seen that? But I didn't know what his name was, and I had to pause this movie, and I was like, dude, I fucking know that guy.
He's all over the place, dude. I want to see still, was it called Hail Caesar, I think? He makes an appearance in that. I also fucking love him. Okay, so first of all, we all know him from way back in the day. He was Bran in fucking The Goonies. He was also Thanos in the Marvel movies, of course. And then my favorite performance of his, other than this probably, is No Country for Old Men. I know we've talked about that movie before. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but if you haven't, you fucking have to, man. Between the 1-2 punch between him and Javier Bardem in that movie is fucking phenomenal. But this Archer Graff character was originally supposed to be played by Pedro Pascal, but due to other scheduling conflicts after delays in the release of this, he ended up having to back out, and Josh Brolin picked it up. We've also got Paul Morgan, the cop, and Justine's little side piece, played by Alden Ehrenreich. We've got the little kid who remains in Justine Gandy's class, Alex Lilly, played by Carrie Christopher. He's fucking great, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've got Marcus Miller, the principal, played by Benedict Wong, who's also banging around in those Marvel movies a little bit. He plays, I think his character's also called Wong in those Doctor Strange movies. But I loved this dude in the Marco Polo series on Netflix.
Okay.
He played Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan. And he was fucking fantastic. Drug addict and homeless guy James, played by Austin Abrams, who is the only person in this cast who was not eventually recast. He was always in it from the beginning. All the other pieces ended up getting replaced by someone else.
Interesting.
We've got Captain Ed Locke, who is Paul's wife's father, who is also the police captain and his boss, played by Toby Huss, who horror fans will be familiar with from the Halloween 2018 movie. He's the one that talks about getting peanut butter on his penis.
Ew, Dusty.
We've got Donna Morgan, who is Paul's wife, played by June Diane Raphael. And finally, the fucking pièce de résistance for this movie, Aunt Gladys, played by Amy Madigan. She fucking crushes it.
The what?
Pièce de résistance.
Yeah.
Cinematography by Larkin Sepel. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Maybe Sapel. Music by Ryan Holiday, Hayes Holiday, and Zach Kreger himself.
Nice.
Special effects covered in this movie by Jason Collins of Autonomous Effects Inc. and Ingenuity Studios, the latter of which did some digital effects for all the eyeball bulging in this movie when all the people start getting fucking taken over by the spell and they're fucking freaking out.
Right.
Their eyes are popping out of their heads like they have that disease that I can't remember the name of right now.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
I did put down a couple of taglines for this one, the first of which is, "Are you watching?" Which I was like, wait, is that really a tagline? But after I watched through the movie again, I was like, oh shit, that's like one of the most haunting lines in the movie because of when it's said and by who.
I don't know that I noticed.
We'll cover it when we get there. There's also, and they never came back.
Oh, yeah. Little girl talking.
Yeah. And finally, the most harmless things can hurt you. Which, I mean, I don't know. Kids aren't harmless. My kid fucking bullies me and beats me up daily.
I got a tagline for you.
Ooh.
AR-15s in the sky during thunderstorms.
That would sell me, dude. I'm into it. That is the sound of the thunder, the firing of the gun.
That was like the only time in the movie where I was like, what the fuck and why? Please have him wake up. Is this a dream? I hope it's a dream.
Well, a lot of people were speculating about whether that was a reference to like the mass shootings that we've had an epidemic of in the past 10, 15, 20 years in this country. But apparently that was not the intent. I think it's just symbolism showing that, the kids, especially his kid, because we see that during Archer's dream. So I think, you're seeing that these kids have been weaponized and, it shows like the time of the clock on the side of the gun and everything.
Right.
So I think it's just, imagery pulling us deeper into the tone of everything going on.
That and him saying something about the children being like heat-seeking missiles is the only tie-in to the title of this movie. Yeah. Personally, I think.
Yeah, he mentions that they've been weaponized.
Yeah, they could have called this movie something else and left that line out.
Well, I think that's the idea. That's what,
strange.
the Aunt Gladys character is using all the people that she,
She's weaponizing them.
She's weaponizing all these people. Basically she's putting them under this spell. And then she's sending them out to fucking do her bidding. And a lot of that is attacking people. Ends up fucking backfiring on her in the end.
So strange.
I like it. So Kreger was inspired to write this after the death of his friend and fellow Whitest Kids You Know alum, Trevor Moore, which there is a reference to in that script of this movie. And in fact, I actually put a little bit of a teaser at the end of the last episode, if anybody caught that, to a Whitest Kids You Know sketch. I don't know if you ever saw that. Lincoln fucking in the theater and he's talking shit to John Wilkes Booth. Now you fucked up. But that was actually Zach Kreger in that role. He was playing Lincoln in that sketch. Warner Brothers cut a deal with Kreger that took less than 90 minutes, apparently. New Line secured the rights within 24 hours and gave Kreger final cut privileges, pending first reactions to test screenings. But I bring up New Line because I found it interesting that Jordan Peele's company, Monkey Paw Productions, also bid on this. And Jordan Peele fired 2 of his managers for failing to acquire it.
Damn.
Holy shit, dude. Jordan Peele's a savage. Also interesting, was that Kreger gave Amy Madigan 2 choices for the character of Aunt Gladys. Either a regular person using witchcraft to prevent her death from an incurable disease, which seems to be the case for this, or an immortal dark magic using creature that basically simulates her existence as a human being. But he never asked her to clarify which one she chose. Dun, dun, dun.
Interesting.
So let's see what that translates to. You ready to get into this?
Yes.
Yes.
Fucking Gladys.
So we open to the sound of children shouting and a drum banging, and that stops. And that's when a little girl narrating says, "This is a true story." I'm sold. You got me. That's all you need. I'm in.
No, I like little kid voice. I knew there was gonna be a voice.
Did I do it? I didn't even consciously do a voice.
Kind of, but it was like weird. It's like your voice got smaller.
Well, you got to. It's a little kid. It's a little girl, no less. But no, she says,
I didn't know if it was gonna get real high. Like
I can go all out if you want me to.
This is a true story. It happened right here in my town 2 years ago.
Yeah, right here in my town 2 years ago. A lot of people die in really weird ways in this story. And you're not going to find it on the news or anywhere like that because the police and the top people in this town were like so embarrassed that they weren't able to solve it that they covered everything all up. But if you come here and ask anyone, they'll all tell you the same thing that I'm going to tell you now. This story starts in my school. That's when we get a shot of Maybrook Elementary, which is K through 5. Very interesting shots right from the jump. There's one like top down on a bus with kids getting off of it. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show us what we're in for cinematography wise in this movie, and it never stops. Every fucking scene has just all of the cool and interesting angles.
That was like the first note that I said was the cutscenes here are very eerie, but they're beautifully shot. But one thing that I'm noticing from paying attention, so, you know, older movies are really my fucking jam, but we're hitting a lot of newer stuff, so it's forcing me to watch a lot of new stuff. I'm not complaining about that. What I'm getting at is we say that about every fucking new movie. These shots are beautiful. Wow, it's
with the equipment available these days.
Right,
it's hard
and
not to be.
Right, and that's what I was getting at. Is a lot of it is technology has just changed, but a lot of it is what we've seen over our lifetimes. And people, you know, everybody knows that the shot is so fucking important.
Yeah.
They all have good shots now. It's crazy.
The difference is the cinematographer and the director's willingness and, you know, desire to find interesting angles. There are a lot of, you know, you can just put a camera in a room, and a lot of people seem to do that still. But it's all about the ones that go the extra mile to, you know, I'm going to fucking hunker down and get it from this lower, like, Dutch angle for this one. You know, we all have the technology at this point to shoot something that looks good, but it's a matter of your artistic prowess and whether you're able to, you know, find something that's going to catch someone's eye or not, you know?
Right.
But she goes, so this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school, and they had this teacher who was new. Her name was Justine Gandy, and on this day, she was going to her classroom just like every morning, but today was different. Today, none of her kids were there. We cut to Justine walking into an empty class, and the little girl's like, all the other classes had all their kids. Even the other third grade that Mrs. Belt taught was full. Mrs. Belt, huh? Is that a real name or a nickname?
I made my classroom disappear.
I made my classroom disappear, eyebrow wiggle.
Justine was fucking thinking it before she went to bed last night and was like, these fucking kids are a nightmare.
I'm so done with
I
this.
hope nobody's fucking there tomorrow.
Especially that little shit Matthew. I can't fucking stand his ass anymore.
And then sure enough, she wakes up and just boop, poof, like, fucking, thank God.
No, she's fucked up about it. Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty except for Alex Lilly. One kid out of the whole class showed up today. What in the fuck?
And do you know why?
Not yet.
Well, little girl's gonna tell you. He was the only one there because the night before at 2:17 in the morning, every other kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, opened the front door, walked across the front yard and into the dark, and they never came back.
Just darted out into the night like a bunch of little fucking feral children.
Fucking running like they were on Pokemon, whatever. What do they call the kids running? The Rudo run? Naruto. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
You're running with your arms flailing behind you all crazy and your head first.
Right.
You can hear the wind.
Yeah, this fucking weird like little airplane run they do. They, like as they run out of their houses, fucking all 17 of these 18 kids in her classroom fucking dart out their doors, And by the way, George Harrison's Beware of Darkness starts to play as we get a bunch of slow-mo shots of these kids just fucking running away. And they're doing this thing. Their fucking arms are out behind them, and they're
like I said, like
catching the wind.
They're leaning forward a tad, so it's like head first, and then their arms are like catching the wind. So
did you have any weird kids at school that like to do that shit?
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, fuck's wrong with that kid? I don't know, man. He just really likes anime.
Yeah, no, that's just Josh. He does that. Like, maybe these kids are okay. You know, it's not that out of character. But
you're fucking right.
There's honestly some gorgeous shots here, though. Like, I know it's just kids running like weirdos, but with the music and these really artistic angles of kids just materializing out of the night from all directions, it's really fucking cool.
The lighting,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dramatic, a lot of fucking, shadow and light playing together because it's nighttime. You got street lights, you got floodlights and shit. Right, exactly. A few of the shots show that multiple kids are running toward the same destination, perhaps, or at least in the same general direction.
Right.
And we finally get our title card, which there's a triangle inside the O in weapons, and I think that's alluding to the witchcraft angle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the blue from I like how they use blue here. We use red on everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's always blood red, which is good, but weapons was blue. Kind of drew your eye away, but like you said, that triangle popped up on the O, and immediately I'm like, I've fucking seen that before.
Yeah, I totally fucking agree about that deep electric blue, though. You're totally fucking right.
It kind of drew you away from.
It gives you a different vibe. You're expecting to see a fucking big red title card in a horror movie, you know? It's like every single fucking one of them.
It almost fucking made you kind of zone out. It was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's some witch shit, dude.
Yeah, right. Exactly. The little girl says all the parents and people at the school were really upset. The police could tell that the kids all left at 2:17 because, half the houses had alarms that got tripped when they walked outside. And some of the kids even got videoed by the houses that had cameras, but the cameras only showed the kids running out into the darkness. They didn't show where they went after that. And we get a bunch of scenes here showing police searches being conducted in homes and through the woods, and there's one that settles on a big sewer drain. Fucking, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Look anywhere.
I know. It was that goddamn Pennywise.
Right.
We cut to the police station where the narrator's telling us the cops talk to Alex a lot. A detective brings Alex a pop, and we see Alex sitting between two adults, one male who looks like he's just staring off into the distance, and an older female with extremely bright red hair. Wonder what that's all about.
Gross.
She does look pretty fucking gross in this. She says the cops talked to Alex a lot, asked him why the kids ran away, but he didn't know, asked if there was a plan, but he said if there was, he never heard it. The cops asked if there was a TV show where someone ran away or something like that, and Alex is like, if there was, I never saw it. And then we cut to another similar shot of, just like the detective walking, and it was showing him from behind carrying the pop can to Alex. Now it's that same shot, but it's a detective bringing Justine a water. They're questioning her, and she doesn't know anything either. The narrator goes, for almost a whole month, they kept the school closed for their big investigation. And there's a shot of the memorial outside the school with a bunch of flowers and pictures and stuffed animals and shit. But after a while, they had to open back up so that the kids who didn't disappear could learn again.
Yeah. Thanks for clarifying that one. For the kids that didn't disappear.
As a little kid.
Yeah. For the kids that didn't disappear and probably assumedly die, they had to keep learning. So you know.
But she goes, one night before they did, they had a big meeting at the school, and there was a bunch of counselors and people like that to help everybody figure out how to feel and be sad together, I guess. This is where the story really starts. And I love that they wrote this opening narration, not only as a child delivering it, but it's also from the perspective of a child, like the way it's worded. Kind of tugs at the heartstrings a bit more than if it was an adult and more clinical, you know?
Right.
Like, oh yeah, in 2024. Shut the fuck up.
Is this supposed to be a kid that disappeared or just another kid from the school?
No, it's just another kid that knows the story in the town, you know?
Right. So yeah, maybe it was a kid from the other class.
Maybe.
Makes sense.
But this is where the movie's format and structure really begin. After the opening narration, we get the story delivered to us through a bunch of vignettes from each character's perspective. And they kind of overlap throughout the movie, but we start with Justine's. And there's some ambient sounds of people in the school auditorium. And we get the third shot of Justine from behind here. She's just sitting in a chair. I realized at this point, because we've seen her 3 times, once walking into the school, once during her police interview, and now here, all directly from behind her with her short blonde hair. And she's sitting in the front row while a counselor on stage talks about, not judging our grief and how to experience emotions we don't like. And, not just sadness, anger too. He says it's a very healthy part of the grief cycle, and it can be especially powerful in instances of abandonment. Interesting when the kids abandon the parents instead of the other way around. What do you call a reverse orphan?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. The whole situation's crazy. Essentially, she's on the fucking chopping block here, man.
Mm-hmm.
We can tell that she cares already, we find out that she's upset about this too, but there's nobody else to really point the finger at.
Yeah.
She's a fucking teacher. There's no...
And I totally understand where the parents are coming from.
Yeah.
Like, all of the kids that went missing, all 17 of them, went missing from your classroom. Not that they went missing from your classroom,
right?
But
you're the fucking common denominator.
Exactly.
Here. Like,
yeah. Why in the fuck are all of these kids specifically from yours? Not a single other kid went missing from any of the other classes.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That'd be suspicious as fuck. I totally get it.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, but yeah, for sure. What the fuck did you do, lady?
Exactly. I would kind of I know innocent until proven guilty, but just that detail alone is she fucking did something.
Exactly. For sure, dude.
But Josh Brolin's had enough. His character Archer stands up and yells at this dude on stage. He's like, should we be upset with Matthew? You may call it abandonment, but I don't. I see something that doesn't make any sense at all. We're talking about 17 kids in one classroom. What happened in that classroom? Why just one class? Why only hers? And the rest of the parents are starting to get riled up by this. It's like a fucking, starting to get out torches and pitchforks.
Oh, yeah. And I guess the better idea is to have her try and explain herself on the podium. I'm like, that's the fucking last thing she needs, man.
I mean, she has to say something for herself in this moment. She has to show, that she's not running from it. She's not trying to fucking flee from this because I didn't do anything. I don't have anything to flee about.
Right.
So she has to have a chance to defend herself and has to try to prove to everybody that I'm here to fucking tell y'all.
There's just the issue is there's nothing to tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where, you got a group of people that are pissed off and want fucking answers. And you want to show that, hey, I can help, but you can't because you don't know. It's fucked. She's fucked.
Yeah. But that's part of why this movie's so good. Just the emotional and character profiles we get of all these people. They're all going through something fucked up, all in a little bit of a different way.
Right.
So the counselor tries to calm everybody down. He goes, I'm picking up a lot of emotion, and that's fine. And Josh Brolin's like, oh, well, then you'll forgive me if I'm not interested in hearing any more out of you. Yeah. Damn, Archer, what the fuck? This dude didn't take your kid.
I sense a little bit of emotion in here right now.
I feel like we should use our inside voices and try to use I statements. I feel. But Archer goes, I want to hear from Justine Gandy. Finally get a straight shot on her at this point. And Archer says he wants to know exactly what she was doing in that class. And when we cut to Justine on stage, she very uncomfortably explains that she has no idea what's going on. She's just as fucked up as everybody else. And she's very sorry for what they're going through, but nobody fucking believes her. They all start yelling, fucking liar. Yep. I know you know. She should be locked up until she tells us what happened.
Burn her at the stake.
Witch.
Yeah.
But that's when Benedict Wong comes up to the podium to take over. This is principal of Maybrook Elementary, Marcus Miller. He goes, okay, that kind of thing is really not called for. I'm serious. Mrs. Gandy is here as an affected member of this community, and she's hurting like all of us. And still no good. Somebody yells, you're either negligent or complicit. Which is where we cut to Marcus and the other counselor escorting Miss Gandy outside to her car, and there's a whole-ass Frankenstein mob of parents chasing after him, still asking questions.
Oh, yeah. Recommends she doesn't stay at home, which, honestly, with the fucking crowd behind her, I agree.
Right. Yeah, the counselor asks her, is there anywhere else you can stay? And she's like, fucking no, not really.
Probably shouldn't go home alone. Someone's going to follow you and fucking murder you.
Well, he tells her, go straight home and lay low, which is good advice, I guess. I mean, if she doesn't have it, you can't call a relative or anything, get out of town for a few days or something. I mean, also, though, I guess that would look suspicious.
Yeah, definitely. I guess the bigger thing here is, we can tell this is probably dangerous. You need to be kind of careful right now. People are upset. But she goes to the liquor store before heading home, so I don't think she's really too fucking worried. So all of a sudden, I'm not either.
Yeah. We cut to the liquor store, and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's going to be one of those nights.
Right away, I'm just kind of like, oh, all right, well, fuck, if she doesn't care, then why in the fuck am I caring about her right now, too? I'm just like, hey, good luck, lady. Let's see what happens.
I like the shot, though. Like, it shows her, like, at the gas station at first, but then it shows her get out of the car and walk toward the camera, which then turns to reveal the liquor store there. And I'm like, oh, shit, all right.
All right, Leahy.
Justine is the liquor. As she walks in, the skeevy, drugged-out homeless dude walks up to her asking for money for a bus ticket to go see his brother, and she walks right past him, barely acknowledging him, even though he ran out of his way to open the door for her. Damn, bitch, what did you do to those kids?
Don't give him no fucking money, Dusty. Don't do it.
She walks straight to the back for some of the good stuff, grabs a bottle of vodka, and then a second bottle of vodka. As she walks away from the shelf, she gets a call on her cell phone from an unknown number, nothing on the other end for a moment, until a female voice comes on and says, you better watch your back because tonight's the night that I... And then she hangs up on her.
Man, terrible attempt at a ghost face, but, nice try.
All I could really discern beyond what was said was that it was clearly said by a white woman.
Yeah, I didn't really catch a whole lot either. It was just probably somebody from the fucking PTA meeting she was just at, honestly.
Yeah, I would assume so, yeah.
Something important to note here, as she's leaving with her liquor, we see a truck sitting in a parking lot across the way.
Yeah, like behind a fence. I do like when she walks out the door, the homeless dude asks her again, even though he already did. Asks the exact same question the exact same way. Hey, miss, excuse me, could you give me some money for a bus ticket to go see my brother? I fucking told you no.
Yeah, well, I know you have change now.
Well, maybe she didn't use cash. But yeah, we see that gray pickup truck parked outside the fence. More on that later, too. She gets back home and stays in her car in the dark for a minute, looking around. Seems like she's half afraid to get out, and there's a cool shot of her looking into the side view mirror at a couple of people walking down the street. From her perspective, in the mirror, through the window, back behind her to the people walking is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Really, really nice shot. And this is just kind of where we're talking again about. There's nice shots all over this movie, and nice shots all over new movies. I think a lot of it's drones, man.
Yeah. Well, in that shot, we also see the pickup truck, that gray truck parked a little ways behind her.
Right.
Not sure at this point if it's the same truck, but it sure as fuck looks like it.
Yeah.
But she finally gets out watching the people the whole time walking down the sidewalk as she walks into her house. And as soon as she gets inside, she looks out the blinds, but thankfully those people don't seem interested in her. We cut to her trying to relax. She's got the TV on, and there's an ad for the zip string toy on it. Those things are pretty cool. She's pouring herself a stiff one, though, a few ice cubes, and then she goes to grab some lime juice and I think some tonic water to mix it with. And then the doorbell rings. Dun, dun, dun. She walks over and just stares at the door for a minute and goes, hello? You might as well come outside to investigate a strange noise or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Why?
She walks toward it and looks out the peephole in the blinds, doesn't see anything. She takes a few steps away from the door, but then there's a fucking loud, rapid knocking on the door, just pow, 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 pow.
Right.
Scares the shit out of her, and I like her response here. She goes, Jesus fucking what? Dude, that's how I'm answering my door from now on.
Just don't answer your door. Do what everybody else does.
Well, of course she says who's there, but there's no answer. She goes to grab some pepper spray to defend herself with and stomps outside, nothing and no one out there, but on her car, somebody has painted the word witch in red paint on the side of it.
Yeah, fucking bummer, dude.
Yeah, man.
And had she... I know this was kind of a sketch scene and it's the middle of the night, but should have fucking dragged a hose out there and her car probably would have been fine. Get the wet paint off,
If it was fresh, sure.
Yeah, she didn't fuck with it until the morning, so now the side of her car says witch for the rest of the fucking movie.
We get a quick shot of her trying and failing to wash it off the next day, and then there's a cut of it parked back at the school because she's inside talking to Marcus, who's telling her you're going on leave, but hey, good news, you get to keep your health insurance. And Marcus says, if you don't mind me saying so, there's a lot of mental health specialists on the plan. Some are pretty good.
The fuck are you trying to say, man?
Well, she's fucked up too, she's going through grief just like everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
But she interrupts him by saying, hey, man, I just need to work. I just need to fill my days with, I don't know, but I just need to work.
I just need to work, and I just need to talk to this fucking kid, man.
I think it's interesting the way they dress her here. She definitely looks like a teacher, wearing a white sweater with blue stripes and a big red heart in the middle of it, projecting to us the image of warmth and pure intent,
Right.
But he tells her, listen, man, people are amped up. You need to stay away from here until they can get a fucking grip and realize it wasn't you who took their kids. And she asks how Alex is. Marcus says he's okay.
Yeah, it's none of your damn business. You stay away from that child.
He was transferred to the other class, and he seems to be doing pretty well. But the most important part is to keep his life as normal as possible, keep a routine, etc. And Justine says right here that she wants to speak to him, and Marcus is like, no, we've talked about this already.
Yeah, no.
But importantly, she says, well, I would feel so much better. And he interrupts her. He's like, yeah, dad, right there. That's the fucking problem. You would feel so much better. Bitch, this ain't about you.
This ain't about you.
Marcus,
It's about little Alex.
Marcus explains he's been hounded by the press and investigators. The poor kid's been traumatized. Let's just try and put him first, okay? And she goes, if you're implying that I don't care about Alex or the other kids, and this is where we get a bit of a bomb dropped. He goes, it's not about whether you care, but the fact is, he claims she has a pattern of overstepping professional boundaries with the students. Whoa, what does that mean?
Well, this sounds kind of bad, and then you come to find out that she was hugging a crying child, and and one missed the bus home.
Yeah.
So she took him home.
Yeah, I love. He's like, it's not appropriate to hug students. Like,
I mean, no, but like
she mentions the little boy was crying. She was just trying to make him feel better.
I was gonna say, there's where does that all change? Is there an age? Probably.
It's because of the day and time that we're in. Like
Right. Like
50
bad,
years ago, that would have been totally fucking
like
fine.
bad people being crazy, fucked up people.
Bad apples ruining the bunch for the rest of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like I don't know. I guess if it's big city living in, you have thousands of students. It's not quite the same as like where we grew up, kind
Right.
of where you have a couple hundred people in your class and you kind of know these fucking people.
mhm, yeah.
It's crazy.
He mentions, I know all of this comes from the fact that you care. I know you aren't a threat to these kids, but you have to realize that you aren't a parent. You're a teacher. There's a difference. And for that reason, no, you cannot talk to Alex Lilly. And she looks away for a second and throws out, it's just, we're the only ones left. As in out of the class.
Right. Yep.
I mean, that would kind of fuck me up too. Like, why wasn't I taken? Is it aliens? What's going on?
It's like, oh, thank God.
She walks out of the school and everyone's staring at her. Parents, students, everyone's kind of whispering things about her as she walks past. And she gets in her car and immediately starts crying. That's when she notices it's dismissal time and she sees weird little Alex walking away from the school.
Oh, man. Imagine if this role was a male teacher and a female child versus a male child and a female teacher.
Yeah.
Holy shit, what a crazier, darker movie.
Well, that's the thing. If it was a male teacher and they were, hugging on students and driving them home and shit, I think there might have been more questions. But since
Right.
she's a tiny woman, presumably, unimposing or whatever.
Right.
But we cut to her at the police station where a cop is taking a report she's filing about the vandalism to her car. And he's like scratching at the paint. He's like, oh, yeah, it's really on there. Huh?
Yeah.
But she mentions she's also been receiving threatening phone calls. And the cop asks if she thinks they're connected, but she's not sure.
Fuck yeah, they're connected. The fuck kind of question is that?
Turns out they're not, actually.
No?
No, it's fucking Donna, dude.
Did we figure out who the phone call was from?
I know who it was from. I recognize the voice. It was Donna.
Oh, okay.
But the cop tries to reassure her it's probably just some kids doing a prank. He used to do the same kind of stuff growing up. That's when she looks over and notices another cop walking into the station. We don't know him yet, but they share a look and a wave at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
We cut to her at the bar later. She sits there drinking alone until that cop she waved at walks in.
Why would she have a call from Donna when nothing's happened yet? Just because of X issues?
Maybe.
Because if that was Donna calling, nothing's happened yet.
How recently were they married? How recently did Justine and Paul have a relationship together?
Is she
I
just
mean, I at least
harassing
thought
her?
it sounded like Donna. I guess it could have been just one of the random parents from the PTA or from that meeting earlier.
I didn't think about it happening until right now we're talking about it. That, the phone call happened prior to...
It sounded like Donna, and it was definitely an adult white woman's voice.
You just calling out all kinds of white women today. Sounded like a white woman to me.
But she sits there at the bar drinking alone. That cop walks in, and he's out of uniform now. And as soon as he walks up, he's like, can we hug? He's all like nervous and standoffish about it.
Ooh, Paul Morgan. I like your mustache.
Yeah, dude. He's got the fucking porn mustache going on.
He's got the fucking cop stash.
The cop stash for sure. Those are one and the same, by the way. I think that's why I don't like mustaches like that. I'm not a fan of just a mustache because you're either in porn or a cop. I know that.
Are you implying?
And fucking ACAB, bitch.
Are you implying if the porn mustache and the cop mustache are all in the same, that every cop has a giant dick?
No, I mean, not all porn stars even have giant dicks. It all depends.
They don't?
No.
Thought that was the very first qualifier.
I mean, it could be a prerequisite
Like-
depending on what kind of movies you're shooting. I don't know. We're getting off topic. Anyway,
Yeah.
they sit down at the bar together, and that's where she notices his fingers all bandaged up. And she asks him what the deal is, and he says, "Oh, it was just a stupid work accident." I love how these vignettes all overlap. We'll see what that was about when we get to his. But she calls for the bartender so he can get her, Paul a drink. But while they're waiting, she tells him she didn't expect him to show up, but he says he's been thinking about her a lot with everything going on. He didn't want a message to make anything worse, but she explains to him that she's not that delicate. And the bartender finally comes over. This bar sucks ass, man. This place isn't that busy. Why the fuck did it take that long for somebody to come over?
Fucking bartender.
He orders a Coke when the bartender does walk up, and she looks at him like he's crazy. But he just keeps trying to ask how she's doing. She goes, "Everybody thinks I'm a witch. Go look at my car." And that's what prompts him to say, "I really hope you didn't drive here." She's like, "Huh? Why?" And he just looks at her like, "Come on."
Yeah, you could tell they had a rocky relationship because they're like almost immediately starting to bicker here. You
Yeah.
know, whether it's about drinking too much or what the fuck ever.
I think their relationship was very much physical.
Right.
Yeah. But clearly she's a little buzzed up, and him being a cop, he doesn't want her to drive. And she goes, "I don't need your fucking concern," and insists she's not drunk. He's like,
That's
"All right."
what they all say.
Yeah,
Totally
exactly.
not.
Dude,
I'm not drunk.
The drunker you are, the more you protest about you being
Yeah.
drunk.
I'm not fucking drunk. Liar.
You're fucking drunk. I'm not drunk. You're drunk. But he's like, "All right, fine. I'm sorry." She tells him about the witch written across her car, but her drunkenness starts to show through. She goes, "So yes, for your information, everybody thinks I'm a witch."
Truth.
He goes, "Can I give you a little, just some thoughts from someone who knows you very well? Try to get out of your own head. People are not thinking about you. This whole town is not aimed at you. You have a tendency to get a little woe is me and paranoid. And the one thing I know has never helped is a lonely drinking pity party."
Mm-hmm.
Well, she says, "I'm not lonely. You're here. Ooh, get it, girl."
Right.
She asks if Donna knows she's here. That's his wife, but he tells her, "No, we're not happening right now." She's like, "Oh, interesting."
No. Oh, smiles. Oh, shit.
Uh-huh.
Fucking here we go.
She's like, "I know something that could be happening." She coaxes him to get just one drink, all flirtatiously. And then we cut to her waking him back up at her house in the bedroom. It's the next morning. She's not wearing pants. And she starts playing Gotta Get Up by Harry Nilsson on her phone to wake him up. He flips over like, "What the fuck is that? Oh, God, turn it off."
Dude, yeah, just scared awake pretty much. Like, where in the fuck am I?
Yeah. He goes, "You haven't changed a bit." And it cuts back to her swaying back and forth on the chair like, "Gotta get up, gotta get up, gotta."
No, thank you.
We cut to her driving him back to his car, and she asks what he's got going on today, and he goes, "Working all day till late."
Yep. This is a big mistake.
Well, she thinks he's over explaining a bit, trying to like dodge her now that they fucked.
Absolutely is.
She reassures him that now that they have fucked, she's not going to be spam texting him all day and night. It's all good. I learned my lesson, she says. Well, I wonder what the history is there.
Did you make a little mistake last night, Polly?
That's why Donna knows about her, you know? She's already been fucking up his ass.
Right.
Oh, not fucking up his ass. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
She asks him how work is going lately, and he just says, "Fine, whatever." But she doesn't like that answer. She goes, "There are 17 missing children out there. So I hope the general vibe at the police station isn't, it's fine, whatever."
I mean, I kind of agree with her, but she's being a dumb bitch right now, too.
She is, yeah.
like fucking leave him alone.
Well, he dishes it back out to her. He goes, "First of all, I'm not a detective. I don't know if you know that. Second, I didn't know I was going to be getting grilled about this investigation." She's like, No, I'm not grilling you. I just want to know if I need to solve this fucking thing myself."
Yeah. Did you sleep with me just to get me to work and talk about this fucking investigation? Wow.
Oh, God, I hope not. But he tells her, "We're on it." And she goes, "Oh, good. What a load off. You're on it." And he goes, "You need to take it easy. Don't get all Justine about it."
What a load off.
He says, "Just leave the investigating to the investigators. It was great to see you." And he gets out of the car. She says to herself after he shuts the door, "Suck my dick," and backs away. I love it when a woman says, "Suck my dick." It's great.
Make a whole lot of sense to me, but hell yeah.
We cut to the school where Justine is now actively stalking a child. Some really cool percussive score here as she follows Alex's bus until it drops him off, and then walks down the street at a safe distance behind him until he gets home. And as he walks through his yard, as he approaches the front door, it opens before he gets to it, and immediately closes once he passes through, as if the house is just swallowing him up.
Yeah, dude, fucking creepy.
Yeah. She comes up to the house at this point and actually rings the bell, knocks, yells hello into the house, but no response. That's when she turns and notices all the windows in this house are newspapered over. What the fuck?
Yeah, how fucking strange. All of them, too.
Yeah. She walks around the side and into the backyard like a psychopath. Lots of loud bugs in the sound design here, and that's about it. But sounds like some cicadas, so we must be early in the school year. After she walks through the gate, we see a nice backyard, but a bit in disarray. She walks up to one of the windows and peeks through a little hole in it to see two figures sitting on the couch staring right at her.
Yeah, dude, mom and dad, creepy sitting on the couch jump scare.
Yeah, dude. So she freaks out and stumbles backward, tripping over a snow shovel in the process, knocking a bunch of shit over. So she freezes, thinking, oh, fuck, the jig is up. But there's no activity whatsoever. So she goes back to the window and looks back in to see those same two people still sitting in the exact same position on the couch. They haven't moved a muscle,
Right.
not seeming to register that anything has happened at all. But it also should be noted that they look fucking terrible. The lady's hair is all tousled like she couldn't give a possible fuck about anything. The dude looks all dirty and grubby like they've been sitting there a while.
I mean, like, my quick glance, because, so you're looking through a crack. It's not a crack in the window. It's like a space in the newspaper.
It's a failure to properly cover the window with the newspaper.
Right,
is what it is.
from the inside. So there's like just barely enough. So like when she's looking around at first, you can't see shit. It's just like black and they're like shadows. Like you
Yeah.
can kind of see, but everything's really got a black.
I think they did a good job in this moment, kind of mimicking the thing where like your eyes adjust. They kind of adjusted the camera the same way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because all of a sudden you see him sitting there and you don't see him at first. So it's like holy
Right.
shit. But
Mhm.
yeah, they don't move. But I was like, dude, they're probably dead. It's like they're dead and sitting there.
I just don't know how they would be dead sitting there upright. You know what I mean? They're not leaning back against the back of the couch. They're
Right.
like up like this, like straight backed.
Hmm.
So I don't know, unless it's like rigor mortis
I
set
was
in
gonna
and they
say,
fucking moved them that way.
With the body slouch.
I mean, I would assume so.
first.
Yeah, I don't know. We cut to Justine back in the car on the phone with Alex, the principal, who is not happy. He goes, I explicitly told you not to interact with Alex. And she's like, oh, I didn't interact with him. He's like, whatever, dude. You followed him home and rang his doorbell repeatedly. All right, calm down, man. She only rang the doorbell once, but she also knocked like a crazy person and yelled.
Fucking spying on this kid.
Yeah, he points out that it's weird that she was peeking through the windows. And she's like, all right, but can we just talk about how weird the situation is? Why weren't they moving? Why are the windows covered? And he's like, probably because nosy people like you like to come up and fucking peek into them.
Right. Yeah, no shit.
He's like, if I didn't make it clear before, leave him alone.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do you the courtesy of pretending this call never took place.
Yeah.
That's a friend right there.
That's a huge friend.
know?
Yeah, he's on her fucking side.
He 100% should have called the police on her.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, because he doesn't realize that there is something going on, but maybe calling the police on her would
would
made
eventually
her-
make it wrap around into solving
Yeah.
the fucking case. Yeah, I don't know.
finding the kids sooner. Yeah, he shouldn't have let shit go. This bitch is acting crazy. Call the cops on her. Chain
Right.
reaction. Save the day.
I guess at this point the kids weren't there yet, but still, you have two fucking catatonic parents that, you know, they're still fucked up. Why are the windows covered? Why are
kids-
there all these fucking dirty soup cans in the sink?
The kids should be there, right?
Not at this
yet?
point, no. Not quite.
Okay.
But boom, right back to the liquor store. But this time she's not alone. As she walks in, we see another woman in a red shirt like come in a bit behind her. And there's a really cool sequence where the camera's on Justine and it keeps turning as she keeps turning down aisles in the store, staying right on her. But every time it turns, we see that woman is getting a little bit closer each time.
It's hot chicks on your ass.
And then when she arrives at her vodka section, this woman just grabs her face, pushing her glasses off, and throws her to the ground. She fucking grabs a bottle off a shelf and points it in her face, and she goes, "You fucked him?" And that's when Justine recognizes her as Donna, Paul's wife.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah. Paul is the cop's name, in case we didn't say that at this point, but Donna freaks out and pours liquor all over Justine and smashes the bottle. Hey, who's going to pay for that?
She's lucky she didn't throw the bottle at her face or something.
Dude,
this is
she
like,
could have smashed her and fucked her up.
yeah, this is pretty mild. She like knocks her down but doesn't kick her ass. Like,
Right.
hell yeah, Donna for having some self-control, I guess.
Yeah. Justine tells her that Paul said they weren't together, and Donna, crying, just gets dragged away.
You know what you did.
That's when we cut back to Justine at home that night, watching TV and, surprise, surprise, drinking.
Yeah, dude, got to drink herself to sleep.
She
It's
goes, she does go to bed here and seems to be sleeping soundly until she starts having a dream about school. And I love how the tracking shots are melding together seamlessly. In the dream, Justine walks into her class. It's night, but all the kids are there with their heads down on the desks. And she walks to the front of the room. As she gets there, little Alex in the back starts to raise his head up. And when he does, there's weird makeup all over his face, like he kind of looks like a clown. And just the wide-eyed stares at her. It's fucking pretty unsettling, actually. Mm-hmm. The score's going crazy with screechy violin sounds at this point, but then suddenly everything cuts away as she wakes up, sitting bolt upright in bed. And she starts to hear noises, though, and she leans over to look out her door into the rest of the house. Real quick, who the fuck sleeps with their bedroom door wide open? Any normal person you know? I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. Even. You guys keep the fucking door open?
At the old place we did.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's so fucking weird to me. Why?
I don't know.
Huh. I mean, I guess there's really no reason to close the door if your fucking front door is closed and locked. I don't know, I guess.
Right, we do it now just because we kind of share a space. Somebody could come downstairs or something, but like at the other place, I was sleeping, like the bedroom door was open, but everything else was open to like all the doors.
Did you do this to the kitty's head free roam?
Yeah. And then because obviously it was just us, when I would get up, instead of using the master bath that was right there, the other bathroom was completely redone. So I would like get up butt ass naked and walk literally from one side of the house all the way to the other side.
Well, Justine convinces herself that these noises were nothing and lays back down. But when she does, there's a sweet jump scare as we see an older lady with similar crazy makeup on just on the ceiling above Justine's bed, making a crazy face and reaching out toward her.
It's motherfucking Gladys, dude.
No, we don't know that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Justine screams and once again sits bolt upright in bed, and it's the old double fake-out nightmare jump scare wake up. But we cut to the next day where Justine's getting out of her car. As Alex is walking up, she was just parked on his street waiting to see him like a real fucking creep.
Yep, dude. Go to fucking prison. Following this kid around.
You're so fucked, Justine.
Like I said, switch the roles around.
And you murdered a cop. Oh my God. No. She says hi and asks how he's doing. He just stops and tells her he's okay, looking very uncomfortable. And she starts to tell him that she's been feeling really uneasy about this whole thing. And he just kind of walks past her, telling her he's got to go. And she's like, hey, excuse me, motherfucker, I'm talking to you. And he whips around and yells, don't follow me, and continues walking up to his house. Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude. Mom, my old school teacher's trying to diddle me.
We cut to Justine once again ringing the doorbell and knocking and yelling at his front door. She's like, I know you're home. But back to her in the car, just watching Alex's house now, pouring herself another drink in a fucking to-go gas station cup. This lady's got fucking problems.
Dude, I know something seems off, but when she was just at the door, okay, so what if his parents did come to the door? Then what? Like, you know what I mean? Like with her being so set on following this kid, talking to this kid, wants to talk to the parents. So let's say she got what she wanted on that last knock. Okay, so he slammed the door in her face. He went, she's knocking. Yeah. Hey, I know you're in there. Mm-hmm. So let's say they come to the door. Hi, fucking Mrs. Gladys. Can I help you? Now Andy. What? What the fuck are you going to say?
Yeah.
Or to Mrs. Gladys. I'm sorry. you know what I meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, Justine. Hi, what the fuck do you want? Yeah. Now what are you going to say?
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, I guess in that case, you just go, hey, so came by the other day, saw your windows papered over, but I also saw you sitting like a couple of fucking freaks on your couch. What's going on in here?
Well, you're just resting. Had a long day. Thanks. See you later.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would be all it would take. Sure.
Taking a load off.
But suddenly the cock...
Suddenly the cock... Sorry. Porn stars, cop mustache.
Well, suddenly the shot cuts, and it's the same angle, but now it's nighttime. Apparently she was sitting here in silence long enough to fall asleep. And we pan over to the front door of the house, and suddenly it opens. Only a dark hole for a minute, but then the woman from earlier with the fucked up hair shambles out like a fucking zombie, holding something above her head and walking in that weird fucking jerky manner.
Right, yeah.
And there's some tinkly violins giving us some spooky vibes here as this lady lumbers out to Justine's car, walks right up to it and just stares in her window for a second.
I thought she had a knife. Nope, sure don't.
Because then she walks past the car. We think we might be in the clear for a second until we hear the sound of the passenger door opening up. And that was fucking scary, dude.
I couldn't tell if it was passenger door or maybe hatch.
And whatever it was, we now know that she's got access to the car, right? Well, I'm just sitting there like, holy fucking shit, what's going to happen? But we hear the sound of a pair of scissors snipping at this point as well. And then the lady's hand extends into frame holding the scissors, and she just cuts a lock of hair off Justine's head.
Dude, she cuts off like a fucking 8-inch piece of fucking hair. And it's not one piece, like, She cuts off like
Yeah, her motor skills are a little fucked at the moment. You could see by the way she was walking.
Justine would know immediately when she woke up, like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what happened to my fucking hair?
Why is this spot on my head so cold? But that's where we get another title card saying Archer. Time for Josh Brolin's vignette. We start with Archer sleeping in his son's bed. There's sports posters all over the room. He's got Batman sheets and pillowcases. Already super sad, right? Archer's wife opens the door to tell him she's going to work, but the tone in which she says it is like, hey, I'm going to work, you piece of shit. Maybe one of these days you will too.
Yeah.
But Archer stares at his son's baseball team photo, and then we cut to him reviewing the Ring camera footage again. And we watch as this little kid does the airplane run off into the night, but now it's grainy camera footage.
Mm-hmm.
He reverses the tape, and when the kid makes it back to the porch, the shot cuts to show basically the same thing, but now we're looking at the actual porch as Archer leaves the house. He walks over to his gray pickup truck, dun, 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 and he drives to work, which he owns a contracting company, so where he drives is a house they're working on.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he's kind of struggling a little bit, obviously, with his marriage, and then translates over into fucking work, too. He fucks up a few things here. Sodding order didn't go through, so it's going to fuck up one of the showings later, but the bigger thing is, he ordered the wrong paint for the front door. It's red instead of forest green like it should have been.
Mm-hmm. And Archer owns up to each of those things. He says, those are all on me. I'm sorry. I haven't been very conscientious about work lately. I'm distracted and preoccupied with, nothing much. Just trying to figure out where the fuck my son went. But he says he'll take back the paint and get the right color. That's when we cut to him putting those two cans of deep cherry paint into the back of his truck. And then it clicked for me. Oh, where have I seen red paint in this movie? Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't expect him to be someone to do something like that, honestly. But he's fucked up. He's not really himself. We cut to him at the police station with a dude with a crazy face wound staring at him in the lobby. And then Captain Ed Locke comes out to get him, and we cut to his office where the captain's assuring Archer they take their work seriously. We follow up on every call, every detail. He's trying to put his mind at ease that they, along with the FBI, are pursuing every lead to find these kids. Archer says, what about the canine units? I haven't heard any reports on that in a long time. And he goes, that's because they don't report to you.
Yeah, I'm getting the vibe here that Archer likes to bug the police a lot. And
he's just a very pushy, he gets what he wants. And he's not used to not. So he talks to people however he wants.
Definitely.
The captain tries to relate to him, saying, I don't mind having these conversations because I sympathize with you. But Archer says, the captain says he needs Archer to trust what they're doing here. And Archer changes the subject. He goes, she's still not talking, huh? She knows, talking about Justine.
Dude, fuck yeah.
And the captain's like, I disagree with that. He says, you've aggressively followed up on every lead, and yet she's still just out here walking around free as a bird. Have you done any looking into her whatsoever? And he says, yes, extensively we have. He goes, okay, so you know about her past, because I've done some digging, and I found out a lot. She had a DUI 2 years ago. She was let go from the last school she taught at for inappropriate behavior. Did you not see these things? And the captain says, well, the inappropriate behavior luckily was with another member of the faculty. But Archer's like, she's a troubled person, is she not? Well, fucking aren't we all?
The fuck does a DUI have to do with 17 missing children? Like, shut the fuck up, Archer.
It doesn't. And I hear about somebody having a DUI, and I'm like, maybe some shit happened. It's not good, certainly.
You got repeat offenders and shit, and that's a whole nother story, too. But getting drunk and driving your car has nothing to do with possibly kidnapping 20 kids, man.
Right. Like,
fuck off. Oh, she got busted for smoking a joint fucking 6 years ago. She probably fucking killed all these kids.
Whoa, that's a bit of a leap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I know you're mad, but Jesus.
Well, the captain's like, what do you think she knows? Those kids walked out on their own. No one forced them. There's no evidence pointing to Justine at all. What do you see that I don't? And we cut back to that night at the school when Archer's freaking out on the staff and counselors. We see, this is that meeting that they had with, the whole crowd and Justine speaking and everything. We see the perspective of Archer walking out of the school behind Justine and the principal when they're escorting her out. But he walks straight to his truck, and that's where we see him spying on her going to the liquor store, the homeless dude opening the door for her from a different angle, everything. Mm-hmm. Turns out it was his truck outside the fence, and he follows her to her house and watches those people walk by. That's when it pans to the back of his truck with those two paint cans.
Ooh.
Da, da, da. Back home, he watches the footage of his kid fleeing like a fucking prisoner from Alcatraz, but we only see in the reflection of his glasses. That's pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts back to him sleeping in his son's bed, of course. He jolts awake and gets up out of bed, grabbing a picture off the dresser, but then he turns to see himself, still sleeping in the bed, with a cool sound effect as the camera pans, which reminded me of the Blargs from Super Mario World, the little fucking lava monsters that pop up when you're riding the little skull raft things.
Nice.
But he looks at the clock, seeing that it's 2:17 a.m. again, which, is that a fucking Shining reference? In the movie, it's 2:37. In the book, it's 2:17.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then he notices the door swing open further, so he goes out into the hall calling for his son, and he goes downstairs to his drafting table, but then hears the sound of the front door squeaking open. So he goes outside and looks across the street to see his kid hauling ass doing the airplane run away from the house. So he starts trying to run after him, but strangely, he continues running straight, but ends up running back into his house, which makes no sense.
Yeah, comes out of the woods back to his house for sure.
Yeah, and he sees Matthew run back into the house, but when he tries to follow, he stops, noticing an enormous AR assault rifle just floating above his house. Why? Couldn't really begin to tell you. I don't know. Other than the weapons thing we were talking about earlier, it's just a reference to these kids being weaponized, I suppose. But on the side of the gun, the number 217 lights up in red until the fog above the house envelops it and the gun disappears. So Archer runs back into his house and follows the sound of the footsteps back upstairs. He walks back up to Matthew's room, opens the door, and sees a body in the bed, totally covered in a sheet. And he goes to uncover it, and I thought it was going to be another jump scare, but not this time. Matthew actually turns to look at him. But Archer pleads with Matty to tell him where he is, apparently realizing he's in a dream, and he starts to break down when Matt won't answer him, and he apologizes for being a shit dad. He's like, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to say. I wanted to say it so many times. I really do want to say it all the time because I feel it all the time. He's like, I love you so much. And then boom, the flashlight shines on Matthew's face, but it changes into that nasty old lady, eyes wide, smiling this awful fucking smile at him. And the score sting accompanies it, of course, and he shoots up in bed in the morning. And I love how he scrambles to like sit up, and then he's just like, what the fuck? But a bit later, he walks out of his house and starts to kind of realize something as he looks out from his front yard, noticing a radio tower in the distance. He goes back into his house and pulls out a big-ass street layout of the town. He finds his house and the tower and draws a big line through it, following along that line, looking for possible destinations along it. We cut to him ringing someone else's doorbell, and a woman answers it. This is actually Zach Cregger's wife, Sarah Paxton. She's an actress I knew from the movie The Innkeepers, and she also has a speaking role in Barbarian. She's just on the phone at one point, but she's the parent of another one of Matthew's classmates. And he introduces himself, but she says, I know who you are. And he says he knows they haven't actually spoken, but we're at a lot of the same events. And she asks how he is, and I love his, oh, I'm good. I'm real good. Are you, though? I don't know. Your fucking kid's missing, first of all. And he says, oh, we're just soldiering on. And he apologizes, but lets her know about the ring cam footage and asks about theirs. He wants to take a look at it, but she says, no, I'm not comfortable with that. He says, okay, that's fine. But then he just waits in his car outside, outside of their house long enough for her husband, Gary, to come home. And first of all, this is a surprise cameo by Justin Long, who was also in Barbarian, of course. But he asks Gary the same question, and he agrees. So we cut inside their house while they're reviewing the footage, and Gary's wife is standing there watching him, pissed as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? I already told you no. Why did you? It's like a kid asking to do something, and mom says no, so they go ask dad.
Yeah, right.
But Archer does the same thing he did with his video and traces the trajectory of the kid's path and draws another line on his map, which intersects with the first one. So he takes off and drives until he notices Justine's car pulling into the gas station. He pulls in to talk to her, and right away she's standoffish. She's like, hey, I know what the whole town thinks of me. The message is loud and clear. And he tells her he's tired of her playing the victim, but as he's talking, she looks across the street and notices someone running toward them full speed with that same airplane stance. As they get closer, Justine notices it's fucking Marcus. And not just that, his face is covered in blood and his eyes are fucking bulging out of his skull.
Yeah, he looks kind of funny. You all right, dude?
He's absolutely not. He runs straight to where Justine and Archer are talking and attacks Justine, knocks the gas pump out of the gas door, and Archer tries to rip him off of her. And it's interesting that Marcus doesn't really attack Archer. He just keeps trying to get to Justine.
It's like a fucking zombie or something, dude.
Yeah, he's got one goal in mind. She runs into the gas station. Archer gets knocked to the ground, but he manages to stop Marcus for now. But the eye bulging effect is really great, I thought.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's all we see of that for the moment, because we cut to our next vignette. This is Paul's sequence. He's at the police station in the locker room on the phone with Donna. She's on a trip and asking how, he's asking how she's liking her hotel. She mentions she'll be ovulating when she gets back. But you can tell there's some hesitation on his end. There are clearly problems between them, but it seems like she's at least trying to maintain the relationship, talking about having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that doesn't jive with what we see earlier, but she tells him to let her dad, who is the captain, by the way, know that she'll be back this weekend for their lunch thing. It's an anniversary party. And she asks Paul if he is planning on hitting a meeting after work. He says he wasn't planning on it, but she insists. That must be why he orders a Coke at the bar. He's an alcoholic who goes to AA meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So he says if he has time, he'll hit one, but he feels fine. I'm not going to drink. And they exchange I love yous, and he hangs up saying, Jesus Christ. And he goes straight to talk to the captain to let him know about the anniversary lunch, and it seems like they have a pretty decent relationship, or at least he pretends to on the surface. Seems like Paul knows that the problems they're having in his marriage could affect his work relationship, so he's trying to, like, play both sides.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely kissing ass.
But there's a cool little exchange. I like Toby Huss and the exchange that he gives him here. He's like, Paul says something about, oh, congratulations on your anniversary. It's a lot of years. He's like, you fucking calling me old? Why would you call me old? And he's like, nah, I'm just busting your balls. But he goes out to start his shift, and he walks to his cruiser. That's when he sees Justine filing her police report about the vandalized car.
Yeah, a little wave earlier.
Mm-hmm. And then we cut to him driving his route for the day when he sees that homeless guy from earlier breaking into a building. And he tries to stop him, calling out on his loudspeaker for the guy to stop, but the dude takes off and the fucking chase is on. Eventually, Paul corners him and chases him down on foot. He goes, stop or you're going to get the taser.
Didn't take much either, man. I feel like they kind of covered a few city blocks and, you know.
Well, that's what happened when you bring some legs to a car fight.
Well, no, depending on if you fucking know where you are, man. It's not that you're going to outrun the car, but you can go places the fucking car. Yeah, you know.
Do you know what my immediate thought was?
What?
He started running down the alley. As soon as I see that cop car fucking out of sight, I'm turning back the other way.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it shouldn't have been too hard, man.
Yeah. He could have fucking disappeared into the ether just by doing that.
It's not like he was in the middle of a cornfield. You know what I'm saying? There's buildings everywhere. He could have easily got the fuck away, but...
Yeah, for sure.
Funny, though.
But Paul tackles him and cuffs him, and the dude's trying to be like, stop, I work in that building. I just forgot the keys or whatever. Like, shut the fuck up. This dude's an extreme bullshitter, trying to give him story after story to get out of trouble.
Right.
Paul checks on him, though. He's like, you all right? We went down pretty hard there. And we learn this guy's name is James, and Paul searches him, asking if he's got anything sharp in his pockets. James says no. But as soon as Paul reaches into James's pocket, he gets his finger jabbed by a needle.
I would have the same exact reaction as that cop.
That's exactly what the fuck I said. Yeah.
Whether you're fucking diehard by the book guy or not, you ask somebody if there's anything in their pockets. You talking about a fucking syringe and he immediately...
They fucking tell you no, and as soon as you stick your hand in that pocket and you get fucking stabbed, what thoughts are running through your head at that moment? What the fuck disease do I maybe have now? I would punch the fuck out of him too.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Red. Yeah, so Paul just straight sticks his hand in his pocket, gets his fucking fingertips stuck by an open fucking needle, and just,
through his glove.
Yeah, and just hits him in the fucking face and lays him out.
Yeah, knocks him right the fuck out.
Right, which, fucking well deserved.
He goes right to the car because his fucking mind is racing now. He goes to pull out his emergency kit to clean himself up. And while he's in there, he sees his dash cam. And he unplugs it.
Yeah. Oops.
We cut back to him waking James up, and he's trying to level with him because he knows he fucked up. But honestly, I wouldn't have fucking... If I were his superior, I would have been like, oh, man. Like, you punched a guy. That's not cool. But fuck, dude. Like, given the circumstances, man, you can't blame him. But Paul goes, look, the way I see it, I did you wrong, you did me wrong. If I see you back here, it's going to be a different story, but for now you can go.
Right.
James agrees, and Paul helps him back up. And we cut back to the police station where Paul's talking to the captain again, now about what just happened. And Ed tells him as long as a police report isn't filed, the footage from the dash cam will go away. But if the guy comes back, Paul, you're in deep shit.
Yeah, essentially, there's so much space on the fucking hard drive, and after about a month, it'll overwrite, unless something's pointed out, essentially.
And he asks him if he got his hand checked out, and we cut to Paul freaking the fuck out in the car again. That's when he gets the text from Justine, and they meet at the bar. Cut right to them fucking.
Yeah.
And then to her dropping him back off at his car. But here's the thing. You just got poked,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was about to say. You're kind of a dick. You don't know if you got a disease from that dude, and you went and fucking banged this chick.
What a fucking piece of shit, dude. I don't care if you are having problems with your lady. You can't just be spreading shit out there.
Yeah, you gotta assume when you get stuck by a dirty fucking heroin needle.
You're gonna need to wait at least 2 months to have sex again.
You gotta assume that you most likely got something. Maybe you don't have AIDS, but you probably caught something, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. Is the needle used or not, I guess? I don't know. I'm not a drug addict who shoots things, and so I don't know what the normal practices are, but if you use a needle, do you shove it back in your pocket to use again? I would imagine you would just fucking discard it somehow, right?
I don't know.
So I would assume that the needle should be clean. Theoretically, it should be clean.
Yeah, I don't even fucking know.
Not that it ends up mattering.
And then the next question is, why wasn't there a cap on it? You're just carrying a needle without a cap in your pocket.
That's the fucking thing too. Yeah, dude, you just got all these open ass fucking needles. Yeah, what happens when you reach your own hand into your own pocket?
I'm thinking you're just walking. Ow.
Oh yeah.
Ow. Fuck. Ow. Ow.
You got to be super careful though, dude. You got that sticking upward in your pocket. Man, what a fucking dumbass.
None of it makes sense. He was just running with that fucking open needle in his pocket.
He was just running.
He just fell on it.
Yeah, with all that leg bending, how did the needle not break? Well, Paul gets back to his car. He gets back home and notices immediately Donna's purse sitting on the island in the kitchen. Oh, fuck. Apparently she's back even earlier than expected. Because he thought at first when he was talking to her on the phone earlier, he goes, 6 days, right? And she's like, no, 3. Right. And then she's back the next day. Apparently someone got sick and they sent everyone back, and she's in the middle of telling him this story, but then she stops mid-sentence to ask where he's been. Strange that you're just now coming home first thing in the morning, you piece of shit. And she finally puts it together. Oh, fuck. You were at another woman's house. And I'll give myself 2 guesses which one.
Paul wouldn't be a good poker player.
No.
Because Donna reads his cards immediately.
It's the mustache, dude.
He didn't even fucking say anything. He just walks in. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yeah. Not even.
Paul. Paul.
Not even an.
You piece of shit. Not again. Like.
We cut back to the police station where Paul passes by Ed's office and they lock eyes. Obviously, he's nervous at that point, having just cheated on his daughter. But Paul walks back outside and right away he sees James walking towards the police station. And Paul has fucking had enough. He thinks he's there to file a police report about him tackling and punching him. So Paul freaks out and goes to chase him down again.
He just starts hollering. You know what you should do to not draw any attention on the guy you don't want coming to the police station?
Yeah.
Walk out. Get like 2 feet from the door and,
hey, what
did I tell you? Get out of here, you son of a bitch. And Paul, and like James is like.
I love that response, dude. He's acting like a thug out on the street. He's like, hey, what the fuck I tell you?
James like Scooby-Doo's trying to fucking, he's like, ridiculous as fuck. Hey, what the fuck did I tell you?
You just did the voice from that fucking one video. Hey, what's your name? Fuck you, James.
Fucking I tell you, get the fuck out of here.
But this is where we cut to James' vignette. He starts in a tent in the woods trying to get high, but he's struggling. Apparently he's running out of his supply. So he eventually gets pissed about struggling with that and comes out of the tent in the pouring rain. We cut to him walking down the street on the phone. He's talking to his brother, telling him he got a job yesterday. More bullshit. He tells him, here's the thing though. I just need a little money so I can get shoes and an outfit for the job or whatever. And his brother sees right through his bullshit right away. And James is pleading, like really trying to get his fix. And as he's walking down the street, he's pulling on every car door he walks past until he finally finds one unlocked. And we cut to him walking down the street, throwing things out of this fucking pink backpack he finds, some little girl's backpack. And he's trying to leave his brother a voicemail, still asking for money. But eventually he finds a pink iPad and some headphones with cat ears on them. And he goes straight to a pawn shop to sell the shit. But the owner doesn't want any of it. He's like, please, man, just like $20.
10. Take 10.
He gets turned away. And that's where we cut to the end of the incident with Paul. And now James is walking back down the street. It starts raining again. And that's when James walks past a house where he notices a bunch of papers in the driveway. Apparently there hasn't been any activity here in some time. He sees the newspaper on the windows. Obviously this is Alex's house. He walks into the backyard to try the back door, but it's locked, so he climbs the trellis to an open window and lets himself in, making all kinds of noise, stumbling in, knocking shit over.
Like, yeah, fucking right, dude. I was watching this and I'm just going, he just happens to pick this fucking house.
Right.
Like, wow, that's terrible luck.
He happens to walk by. He picks the house because he sees all the newspapers in the driveway.
Right.
Maybe nobody's been here for a while.
It looks
or
like
so.
it's kind of
abandoned or whatever. There is a car in the driveway, but I mean, fucking whatever.
Right.
Maybe they've been on a trip for a while. He wanders the house, grabs a pillowcase off the bed, and eats some food he just finds laying on it as well. Ew, dude.
Yeah, gross.
And as he walks through the house, he finds a locked door with a light on the other side, but he doesn't investigate that any further. He goes downstairs and just starts stuffing shit in the pillowcase. Anything he thinks might be valuable. He walks into the living room and finds a game system and some movies, including Willow. That's when he gets jump scared. Seeing the parents' reflection in the TV, he falls to the ground and apologizes, but they aren't moving. Totally catatonic.
Yeah, dude. Snaps his fingers in front of him and shit.
Yeah, no response. So he just goes back to stealing shit, grabs a bunch of silverware, hears a noise upstairs but doesn't think much of it. This is where he walks past another door, but he comes back to try it, flipping on the light switch in the basement, and that's where he finds all 17 kids who are just standing there staring, until all at once they turn to him in unison. He freaks out and apologizes to the kids now, and he runs back upstairs, falling over, spilling all of his silverware, and as he tries to clean it up, we see in the background the parents stand up and attack him. He freaks again and runs to the door, struggling to unlock it for a second, but then it's right back to the pawn shop where the fucking owner takes the silverware and finally he gets some money for his fix.
Yeah, dude, not bad.
We cut to him getting high in the alley, and I love the sound effect here once he finally achieves nirvana again. It's like, ding!
Well, it's funny that, okay, so he's back in the alley getting high, but while he was still inside, he noticed the missing kids sign on the back wall with the $50,000 reward.
Yeah.
So he's got the master plan like, damn, I just fucking found these kids, but has to run and get fucking high real quick.
$50,000, dude, that's a lot of junk.
Yeah. You just, I'm going to call the cops, but real quick, get my fix.
Yeah.
So when he does call the fucking cops here, he's like fucked up, man, jittery and shit, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, he feels better about his life at the moment. He tells him he knows where to find the missing kids. He doesn't want to come to the police station to file a report, though. So he wonders, hey, can anyone just like meet me with the money somewhere? Like, I don't know. He tells him about the weirdo sitting on the couch, meaning the parents, but they tell him he doesn't have a choice. You have to come down to the police station. So when he does, that's when Paul comes out, freaking out, and he runs away.
Right.
So we cut to him in the woods talking shit to himself about Paul, who's being, I'm a big bad cop, all this bullshit.
I was going to say, so evidently he got away. You know,
for now.
That whole build-up, because Paul takes off after him in the fucking car and unhooks the holster of his fucking shotgun.
Yeah.
Like he's about to come kill this motherfucker.
Right.
But
and he does bring that shotgun with him, too.
Right.
Because in a minute, we'll find out what happens there. But this is where when James is wandering through the woods, he sees that fucking weird red-haired lady in the woods just waving to him. What the fuck?
Fucking Gladys.
Scares the shit out of him, so he runs back to his tent trying to convince himself that it wasn't real. And then he starts hearing noises outside the tent. And he sees the zipper start to like undo. So he grabs a handful of syringes and stabs whatever's on the other side, which happens to be Paul, who has chased him down. And Paul's like, what the fuck, man? You just stabbed me? And James is like, it was an accident. No, it fucking wasn't.
Yeah,
Shut
dude,
up.
like 3 more dirty needles to the face.
Dude, oh my God, this is the worst day.
Yeah, dude, he puts the shotgun up to his fucking head.
Yeah.
Rightfully pissed off again, you know?
Yeah. But he tells him he knows where the kids are and he can take him there. And they get into Paul's cruiser, and Paul's freaking out about the syringes. And he turns around, he's like, do you have AIDS? Hepatitis? Anything like that? And James is like, oh no, I don't think so.
Not that I know of.
And James leads Paul to the house. And before Paul gets out, he's like, excuse me, sir. I don't want to be rude, but how do I know you're not going to like try to take that money for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Like he's going to go in there and he's going to he's going to come out and call the cops.
Yeah. I found him.
Yeah.
Paul doesn't answer. He just gets out of the car like, fuck you, dude, and walks up to the house, which the door seems to open itself here once again. And Paul walks inside and James is just like, what the fuck? And then we cut to James still in the back of the cop car. Now it's nighttime and James is yelling, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, no Paul.
Until finally he sees the door open again and Paul comes out doing that weird walk that the lady from earlier was doing, the mom, stomping straight to the car, and then he drags James out of the back of it and straight into the house without a word.
Yep, that one was crazy.
We cut to Marcus's vignette, and he's at the grocery store with his husband, but on the phone with Justine telling her he'll agree to a meeting with Alex's parents to check on his welfare. We cut to the school where that weird lady with the red hair walks back in place of the parents, and this is where we get the introduction that her name is Gladys. But Marcus is immediately put off by her. She seems pleasant enough, but almost overly so, as if it's an act.
Yeah, just trying to figure out, like, okay, so you're not his guardian, right?
Yeah.
So, my question, too, why the fuck you here then?
Exactly.
How do you even fucking know you're supposed to be here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She tells him she's happy to come by, and he goes, I don't think we've met before, and I'm relatively certain I would have remembered. Yeah, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
But she explains that she's Alex's aunt, and his mom is her baby sister. He tells her he needs to speak with Alex's legal guardians, and she tells him, oh, that won't be possible. They've come down with a little of the consumption.
Yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
He's like, what the fuck? Tuberculosis? He goes, I thought that was something settlers got on the Oregon Trail. And she tells him, unfortunately, they won't be able to come into the school to talk, but he tells her someone's filed a complaint concerned with Alex's welfare. And she's like, oh, who made it? And he's like, well, I can't fucking tell you that. But he does say he's willing to come by the house if it makes it easier. We cut to Marcus's husband at their house putting together a big old tray of hot dogs and carrots to enjoy while they watch this nature documentary.
Yeah, dude, what a snack platter. It's got 7 fucking hot dogs on it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
What'd you call them before? Glizzies? I wasn't familiar with that term before you showed me that.
Picked it up from the kids these days.
Oh, God. Well, it's a shame there weren't 6 or 7 hot dogs on there. But when there's a ring of their doorbell, lots of ringing doorbells in this, by the way, Marcus gets up to answer it, and it's fucking Gladys. What the fuck is she doing here?
Man, and he fucking knows something ain't fucking right about this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he does everything he can to kind of put her off and not let her in. But
yeah, because he already had the interaction with her in the
yeah.
school where he's like, what the fuck is going on with this lady?
And then Terry, obviously, he doesn't know. So he's just being a nice guy, which, fuck.
That's the husband's name is Terry?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch it.
Yep.
But he opens the door, and she's like, oh my God, thank God you're home. The bus didn't pick me up where it was supposed to. I realized I was at the wrong corner, so I had to walk all the way across town, and I am on the verge of collapse. And she asks to come in for some water. Marcus isn't comfortable with that, but Terry, who hasn't had any prior experience with this woman, just feels bad for an old lady and tells her, of course you can come inside for some water.
How do you know where I live?
Exactly. Fucking exactly.
You crazy bitch.
She walks into the kitchen, and Terry tells Marcus to get her a glass, but she clarifies, oh no, a bowl, please. I would like a bowl of water.
Yeah. Woof, woof.
She goes, it's just a little peculiarity of mine. I don't even try to rationalize it anymore. And so they get her the bowl, and Gladys informs him that even though Alex's father is sick, he's willing to come in on Monday to talk to him to clear everything up. And he tells her it's really not necessary. There's no need to contact the authorities, right? She's like, you haven't contacted them yet, have you? Like, bitch, why are you so worried about it? And as she's talking, she takes a stick out of her purse and wraps a blue ribbon around it, asking again whether he talked to the cops yet or not. And he asks her what the fuck she's doing. That's when she cuts her hand open with a thorn on the stick, and fucking Marcus freaks out. He's like, why did you do that? And she goes, it was an accident, of course. Wow, look at that. It's really bleeding. Could you get me a rag, sweetie? And as she says this, she's spinning the ribbon stick in her hand, covering it in blood. Terry brings her a towel. She leans in and snips off a little of his hair when he does, which is when Marcus says he's going to call 911. That's when Gladys holds up a tiny bell and rings it. And Marcus immediately drops the phone, now under the control of whatever witchcraft Gladys is using here.
Mm-hmm.
And she wraps the husband's hair around the stick and breaks it, holding it over the bowl. And as soon as she breaks the stick, Marcus attacks his own husband, tackling him to the ground, immediately throwing up a ridiculous amount of black shit all over his face like this is an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, dude.
And then
Sweet.
he just starts repeatedly headbutting the fuck out of him, caving his fucking face in.
Yeah, dude. It gets this really cool mushy sound after a minute. Like the first two
squelching.
Yeah, like the first 2 or 3 you can still hear skull, and then it turns into this just like
Yeah, wet thud.
Yeah, you ever smash a pumpkin? It turns into like a
Wow. Yeah. Oh, God.
It's pretty fucking sweet, dude.
It's gnarly, dude. Yeah. As he finishes up, Gladys takes another stick out of the bag and breaks that, which sends Marcus running off immediately. No question, no hesitation, just runs the fuck out the front door.
She had pulled Justine's hair out and wrapped it around that second stick. So
Yeah.
to stop him from attacking Terry, she dropped the stick into the bowl of water.
Yeah.
Busted out the new stick with Justine's hair, snapped that motherfucker, and then he went taking off running.
Yeah.
So
Gladys cleans up her sticks and slowly exits the house, giving us another shot of Marcus doing the airplane run down the street in the distance.
all I gotta say is she just left that bowl of water there with her blood in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't leave your blood at the crime scene,
Not covering
man.
your tracks very
Right.
well. Yeah. There's a quick montage of Marcus just running through various areas, downtown, past a baseball game, through a fucking parking garage, until he sees Justine and Archer at the gas station, and this is where he attacks her.
Yeah, the scene's crossing again. I fucking love this.
Yeah. And Archer stops him, kicking him to the ground, telling him to stay down. Marcus gets away from him, though, and keeps running toward Justine, and he almost corners her inside the gas station. But Archer comes and tackles him into a cooler, breaking the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Justine continues to run away, and the gas station clerk is like, "Get out of my store!" And she yells back, "Fucking help me! Fuck you!"
I expected this to be some kind of situation like, I expected a foreign person to own the gas station, but I expected them to clean house. Like, all that was happening for a minute. I expected when she was running out, dude to be standing there with a shotgun and, blast this dude.
Mhm.
You know, like, I can't believe they didn't throw that in. That's exactly what I thought was happening with the gas station.
Right. Well, she runs out of it, with Marcus hot on her trail. She runs to her car and barely manages to close the door by the time Marcus gets there, and he breaks her window. She gets the car started and drives away, but that's when Archer comes out of the store with a bloody hand. He gets in his truck and starts to chase down Justine and Marcus, but that's when he sees Marcus run through an intersection that has a red light, and he just gets fucking plowed by an SUV.
If that didn't happen, he was about to run his ass over, too, though.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it. Like, he was starting to...
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. And then, he didn't need to.
Right. Archer gets out to assess the damage, and this scene is great, dude. One of Marcus's shoes is just laying on the ground, and the driver of the car is freaking out that she just killed someone. And we pan to Marcus's mangled body. His head is just fucking hamburger meat now.
Yeah, his skull's open.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to be funny.
We're just fucked up.
It just
Don't worry
sounded
about
funny. His skull was all open on the pavement.
Damn, are you about to write a fucking saucy novel? We cut to Archer getting his wounds tended to at the hospital, and he comes out to see Justine in the waiting room. They walk outside, and he asks her if she's okay, and she's like, I'm a little scraped up, but I'm okay. And he says the same. She thanks him for helping her, and he says, it was nothing. The guy was out of control. What else could I do? And she mentions that the last time she talked to Marcus, he was totally fine, so something weird's going on.
Right. Archer is actually the smartest guy out of any of this fucking shit he puts together that this guy was running like the fucking kids were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she says she's never seen anything like that before, but he says, I have, specifically the way they were running. And he tells her he needs to show her something. They get into his truck where he shows her the map and tells her about the other parent's kid, that he talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Also mentions that the way he was running was the exact same way as the two kids. Same posture, same everything. Just like Marcus ran after you today. And he says he was weaponized, like a heat-seeking missile locked onto you. And he tells her that the paths that the kids were following intersect somewhere around this area, and he points it out, and immediately she recognizes, oh, fuck, that's Alex's house.
Yeah, Alex's house is in. Yeah.
This is where we cut to Alex's vignette, which we open in Justine's classroom where she's teaching him about parasites, specifically tapeworms in this case, and I think that's an interesting parallel for what we learn about Gladys soon here. We cut to Alex walking down the hall in school, and Archer's kid Matthew's being a little shit, bullying Alex, mocking him, and trying to knock shit out of his hands like a little asshole.
Mm-hmm.
We cut to the end of the school day where Alex is carrying out a little shadow box science project he made, and he comes outside to see his dad waiting there to pick him up. And it seems like they have a great relationship before all the shit pops up. He's like, talk to me, Axe Man. How was school today? Did you kiss any supermodels? And he goes, tonight's the night, pal. Your mom's Aunt Gladys is coming to stay with us. She's sick and doesn't have anywhere else to go. And Alex is like, but we don't even know her. He said he doesn't even know her. And that's when Dad says, yeah, I don't either. I'm not really sure how much your mom really knows her. But she's family, and it's important to help out family.
Mm-hmm.
And they get back to their lovely home, and Dad walks in saying, hey, I found a kid.
Yeah. This thing stinks.
Mom tells Alex she wants the house cleaned up, including your room, so go get to it. Alex is like, why? She's not going to be coming in my room, right?
Shouldn't be.
Well, you know what? Not the point. Just fucking do it. That's when we cut to Alex in bed later that night, and he sees headlights pull up outside. So he walks to the window for a little look-see, and he sees his dad carrying all of Aunt Gladys's stuff into the house, including a nice little bonsai tree.
Yeah. How nice. What a nice guy.
And the next morning, Alex wanders into his parents' room while they're having a little conversation about other possible options for Aunt Gladys. Dad's not really comfortable with her being here and says they aren't equipped to handle this. Maybe she should be in hospice, but Mom insists on helping her and wants her to stay there. Alex tells Mom he's hungry, so she tells him to go downstairs and get something, but be quiet because Aunt Gladys is sleeping. She also says to brush his teeth and get ready for school, and after he does, he peeks into Aunt Gladys's room, and the first thing he sees is her wig on the dresser. He also spots the tree on the table, and then he pans over to Gladys herself, who's looking like fucking Gollum without that wig on.
Just fucking staring at him. I didn't realize she had a fucking that red hair's wig.
Yeah.
So why'd you choose a crazy ass fucking red then?
Yeah,
It makes
why
you look
not?
so bad.
She's just got such a loud personality, you know?
Oh, if that wig wasn't red, she wouldn't look like a fucking corpse.
But he looks over and gets jump scared by her staring directly at him, so he freaks out and closes the door. We cut to the car where he asks his dad how long Aunt Gladys is going to be staying with him, and he goes, well, fucking until she dies, probably.
Yeah, hopefully a month.
Yeah, he says, I don't think she's going to be here longer than a month. But we cut to the school where Dad drops him off, telling him he'll be back to pick him up at 2. We go to class where the kids are finishing up a quiz about telling the time on a clock face. Man, I missed 3rd grade. But Miss Gandy says, okay, pencils down, and that's when little shithead Matthew throws his pencil at Alex. Fortunately, Justine sees it and yells at him. He's like, what? You said pencils down. Fuck you, Matthew.
Little shit.
She tells him to go outside now, and Matthew gets up like, oh, God, whatever. I didn't even do anything. And we cut to the end of the school day where Alex comes outside to find that his dad's not there.
Yeah, dude, how strange. Little guy ends up walking home, and this looks like a far fucking walk.
Yeah, dude. He waits for a long time outside the school until the counselor comes out asking if he's okay, but he's like, yeah, and he just starts walking.
Right.
And it's a far enough walk that we get a montage.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he's walking through the town. It's actually starting to get dark outside by the time he gets home. And he sees Mom and Dad just sitting at the table inside.
Yeah, something's different here.
And he asks where his dad was, but that's when Gladys comes in and welcomes him home. And he asks, what's wrong with his parents, but she insists, oh, they're fine. They're just resting. All they can seem to do at this point is ask him how school was, both of them.
Right.
Gladys reaches over to him, but he shrinks back, and she tells him not to be rude. She tells him sit down at the table. I'm making mac and cheese for dinner. And that's when Alex picks up a water glass and splashes it into his dad's face, trying to get some kind of reaction. But that causes Gladys to tell him, okay, that's it, mister. You go straight upstairs, brush your teeth, and go to bed. No dinner for you.
Yeah, damn, dude.
And that's what he does. And the next morning when he wakes up, his parents are still sitting in the same position as they were the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Gladys is at the table now, though. And she tells him to sit down. And when he looks up at his dad, who just stares straight ahead with bloodshot eyes, he sits down at the table and she tells Alex, when you go to school today, don't tell a single soul that I'm at this house or that your parents are resting like that. And as a way to convince him, she shows him her little stick trick, covering it in blood. And this is where that tagline comes in. Are you watching?
Okay.
She breaks the stick and the parents both pick up their forks and just start repeatedly stabbing themselves in the face until she drops the stick in the water and they both stop.
Sounds pretty cool here, man. You ever cook a potato in the microwave?
Oh, yeah.
You got to stab it a bunch with
Oh,
a
yeah.
fucking fork first? That's the sound. It's like...
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Alex tries to stop his dad from stabbing himself, but once they stop, she tells him to sit back down. She goes, I can make your parents hurt themselves or hurt each other. I can make them eat each other if I want to.
Cool, dude.
Do I want to, Alex? Do you believe me? Promise me you won't talk about me to another human being, because I'll know. And he promises with tears in his eyes. This poor little kid here, man, he didn't do shit to deserve this. But it shows him being all distant at school. And then back at home, he finds the windows all newspapered up. His parents are still sitting at the table, faces all forked up.
Jesus, your face is so forked.
He walks upstairs and sees one of the rooms totally disheveled, continues down the hall until he comes to his parents' old room, but now he finds Gladys in there, sitting on the floor with her tree and a bunch of candles as well. The room is cleared out except for this shit, so she just tossed all of his parents' shit into that room to get it out of her way.
Right.
She goes, no talking today. You'll need to feed your parents. There's soup in the cabinet. Tomorrow you'll get some more. And we cut to poor Alex struggling to open a can of soup. spilling it all over the place. And then he tries to feed them, soup dripping all over the place. This is so fucking sad, man.
I'm surprised that they can open their mouths to eat here. But also, what's the point? What's the point in even fucking feeding them? You need them to be alive to sit there?
You need him. Well, I mean, she needs him to be alive to fucking keep them doing her bidding, I guess.
They ain't doing nothing. They just fucking sitting there.
They're not doing anything now. They will be.
Yeah.
But he spends another day at school and then makes a trip to the store and just walked home with a big ass bag full of chicken noodle soup.
He can't carry enough cans.
We cut back to the house, and that's where we see that he's got some of the Pop Tab top style cans. Good job, Alex. Nice. But he feeds his dad again, and then we cut to him in bed that night. And he hears his Aunt Gladys call out to him, and he finds her laying on the floor, huddled over a pot, and apparently throwing up into it. That's where we see her without her wig, and she's got these nasty wisps of fucking braided gray hair. She tells him she's very sick, and this sweet little boy asks her if she'd like some water. She goes, "Water won't help me. I'm too sick for water. I have been for a long time." And it kills me how kind this kid is at all times. Even after everything she's already done to him and his parents, he still tries to help her. And he goes, "What will make you feel better?" And he says, "Well, I was hoping your mom and dad would make me feel better, but it doesn't seem to be turning out so good." And he goes, "Would you like to go to a hospital?" She says, "No, the hospital won't fix me, but maybe you could help."
So, at least from what and I know it doesn't outright say anything, she's saying, "I hope your mom and dad were going to make me feel better." So is this like a thing where this lady's she's a super old fucking witch? So getting these people is making her younger to keep her alive kind of thing?
Maybe that's kind of what I gathered from it.
That's what it felt like because, she's here, ain't seen us in forever. This is somebody she knew she could prey on.
Right.
Turns out these two older people aren't enough, so now, but...
Is it because they're older that they're not helping and she needs kids?
Maybe.
That's a thing with witches.
But then, you know what's about to happen? She gets all these fucking kids, but she doesn't look any different. She's not like stronger or something, so it doesn't... They just have the kids in the basement and nothing has changed with her.
Right.
She still looks nasty.
Yep.
She's still an old crazy witch.
Yep.
So I'm kind of like, something's missing for me.
Yeah, maybe she's just not a very good witch.
Yeah. If this
Other than the making people attack each other.
I was going to say, and what does that really, you're like, oh, doing her bidding. All right, so you attack this guy. Did it do anything for you? You crazy witch.
It got people off her trail, I guess, or,
there's got to be some kind of resolve here.
Yeah.
What is she really getting?
Well, I don't know. She tells him that maybe you could help me, Alex, and he asks how. And she tells him when he goes to school the next day, you need to bring an object from each of your classmates back to me. That might be just what I need. And he clarifies, okay, I need to get this straight. If that makes you feel better, you'll go back home?
Right.
And she tells him yes. And she laughs and smiles at him, but we cut back to school, and Alex is scanning the classroom trying to find something from each of his classmates to nab.
Oh, dude, he's watching all of them.
And he's like, koosh ball? No. Pencil eraser? Nah. That's when he looks over to see all the name tags that the kids made for their little cubbies in class.
Right. Brilliant,
dude. Great fucking call. Great call. You can grab them all at once. They're super easy to conceal.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to get everybody out of the room to get them. And that's when we cut to the gym, where Alex takes this opportunity to head back to class and grab them. Unfortunately, Justine saw him leave, so once he grabs all the name tags, he barely finishes when Miss Gandy comes into the room and asks him what he's doing there.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Oh, I didn't feel like playing and I forgot something." He starts to walk away, but she stops him, saying, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's like, "You've been quieter than usual," and he insists he's okay, though. And she tells him, "Well, if you ever need to talk to someone, you can talk to me about anything you want." But he just tells her he's ready to go back to the gym, so back he goes. Back home, Dad is just standing by the door, ready to open it for him when he gets there, and Alex runs straight upstairs, dumping all the name tags on the floor outside of Gladys's room. We cut to that night, where we see a digital clock change to 2:15 a.m. Uh-oh. T-minus 2 minutes. Alex sits up in bed and goes downstairs to see his parents at the table. And in the kitchen, Gladys is ripping up all the name tags and tossing them into a big old pot of water.
Yeah, dude, some kind of crazy cauldron. She's got like some kind of bubbly, oozy fucking...
Or anything she could makeshift into a cauldron.
Like, it straight looks like something that would be out of some cartoon or something.
Candles burning all over the place.
Bubbly and smoking.
Yeah.
She's got a big fucking spoon she stirred it with.
She hawks this big old loogie into the pot, dude. Oh, God.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were being smart ass.
No, dude, she definitely does. No, she 1,000% does. He's like, what are you doing? But she doesn't say anything. She just lights a match and tosses it into the pot where it explodes for some reason. She must have some fucking toxic xenomorph spit or something.
It's ridiculous ass. Smoking mirrors.
Tuscarora!
Right.
Gladys picks up a bell and rings it, and the score begins to play a haunting melody with some deep, distant horns from the sounds of things. And Gladys opens the front door. They both walk outside, and the camera zooms to, down the dark street a little bit. That's when we get a bunch of shots of all those kids running through the night, some by themselves, some in a big group.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And they cut to a shot from the house, and it just shows all these kids start to appear in the street one by one, all directly into the house. And that's got to fuck up Alex. Like, this lady's doing some weird shit in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, there's Trevor. That's Caitlin. Oh, fucking Annabelle and Hunter are here. What the fuck is this about?
I'm kind of surprised that we're in a pretty decent sized neighborhood. Like,
yeah,
nobody saw anything. Nobody
it's
else
the middle
was
of the
like,
night, dude. In a respectable neighborhood, everyone's sleeping at 2:17 a.m.
There wasn't just a random dude that was like taking a leak and fucking looked out the window and seen all these kids running by. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
fuck, oh, that's weird. Somebody, come on.
Well, we cut back to Alex in class, but this time he is alone. And Justine walks in to see this and slows down immediately, like, what the fuck is this? And we cut back to Alex sitting outside the principal's office, and then to Gladys putting a bunch of makeup on Dad's face back at home. We hear her say to someone, Steven suffered a stroke, so he's unable to speak, so I've been taking care of the house for the time being. And now it shows them talking to the cops, who thank them for coming, and then one of them asks Alex, hey, how you doing? I'm going to ask you some questions about what happened at school, okay? And I mean, technically nothing happened there.
Right.
We cut to later when Gladys tells Alex back at home, tomorrow people will come here, and they will search this house, and we have to be ready. She's doing a little stick thing again, snapping some leaves off of this one because she took it off her little tree in there. And that's where we cut to a cleanup montage. Alex tears the newspaper off the windows, he vacuums, he cleans up a bunch of garbage, particularly soup cans. And then they're shown cutting off a bunch of strings off the kids' clothes in the basement, which transitions into them all running out into the night again, out the back door this time. I assume she's just like sending them into the woods to wait until the search is over.
I was going to say, I had questions about this too. So, I don't, where are they just fucking standing outside, all huddled in a fucking...
They have to like get off
cows?
the property, I guess. They live in a wooded area, so I'm assuming they just she's like, her mental command to them is just go off into the woods and wait for a little while until the fucking cops leave and then you can come back.
That's weird. Yeah, you look out the window and they're just like running in a circle.
They're just scattered all over the woods, hiding behind separate trees, like peeking out. But the next morning, the cops do come and Gladys welcomes them in. She's all dressed and made up, fresh as a daisy. And the cops mention they just want to see what kind of environment Alex is living in. And that's when Alex appears at the top of the stairs and the cop waves to him, but he doesn't say anything. He's like, oh, he's a little quiet today, huh? And Gladys just laughs and says, oh, yeah. And then looks like when the detective walks away, she shoots Alex a look like, talking you're dead, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And cut back to the house, back to its previous state with the newspaper on the windows and everything. And now Alex not only has to feed his parents, but the rest of the kids too, including that dickhead Matthew. That's a bummer.
19 people.
Dude.
He's got 2 parents, 17 kids. That's a lot of work, man.
This kid now has no time to do anything except feed people soup.
Right. And just on cue, Alex walks in his house, and we've got another person to feed. How convenient. Make that 20 people,
dude,
including
yeah.
Paul.
He comes back home carrying more soup from the store after school. And he comes home seeing fucking Paul just standing. He notices the cop car outside first, which
Right.
he pauses at.
Right.
But then he sees Paul just standing there in uniform in his living room, staring straight ahead into the dark.
Yep, 20. And then,
And
actually, sorry, 21, James.
Yeah. He
God
turns and sees
damn.
James standing there too, both of them looking freaky as shit, but particularly James.
Yeah, dude. So, I mean, Alex is 21 people,
Dude.
21 cans per
And he's
day.
lucky he doesn't have to feed fucking Gladys. She looks like an invalid herself. And plus himself, that's 23.
I like this, though, because just in time, I'm going, I don't know how he's going to do it, but we're going to watch.
Man, Alex must also be getting sick of soup at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, Gladys says, we're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, God, thank God. That was too much for
But
him.
what do you mean? Who's leaving? How many of us are leaving and
but
where are we going?
That was the question is, at first I thought, wow, you don't have to feed all those fucking people anymore. And then I said, oh, are they coming with?
Probably, dude. You can't just leave them in the fucking house. I guess you could. I don't know. I don't know what her fucking plans are. But She walks back into her room where his parents are both standing guard outside the door, and she yells back to Alex, "Don't step over the salt." Oh, shit.
What? Oh, okay.
Wait, what fucking salt?
Yeah.
Why would I step over salt? There's a line of it on the floor right outside the bedroom door, though, and he sees this as well as his parents just standing there, still in a trance. And he goes back to his room and looks outside to see Archer's truck.
Archer and Justine.
Yeah, we cut into the truck where Archer asks, "The cops are here. What do you think that means?" And he and Justine are just out here scoping the place out. She's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "What? Do we knock? Do we come back? What are we going to say?" And that's when Archer sees the door open. Little did Justine know that the cop car outside belongs to Paul, and she sees him come out and wave him inside.
Yeah.
And then he fucking just turns in, like, zombie walks back in. Like, what the fuck, dude? No way would I be going into that house.
No, fuck.
Why
no.
would Paul, if he was still Paul, you know what I mean? Why would he not walk up to the truck and be like, "Hey, come, talk to her"?
Yeah.
No, something's fucked up.
Well, and he doesn't want to see her anyway, so him waving her in seems kind of,
Right. Right. So from Alex's window, he watches Archer and Justine get out of the truck and walk toward the house. Alex gets up to get dressed and opens the door to see his parents, now in the candlelight, but still just standing there, just staring. And downstairs, Archer and Justine walk in and call out for whoever can hear. And Justine sees Paul standing in the dining room and starts to walk toward him, but that's when Archer sees the line of salt on the ground and calls out, "Wait," but it's too late. Justine takes one step too many and steps over the salt line, and out of nowhere, James comes screaming out of the darkness and attacks Archer. Paul does the same but comes for Justine.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut away to Alex walking toward his parents in the hall upstairs, hearing all the screaming coming from down below. And he walks right up to the salt line and stops. And we cut back downstairs to the wrestling match going on. That's where James is trying to choke Archer, but Archer is way bigger than him. He rolls him over and fucking punches the shit out of him, knocking him out. And Paul chases Justine into the kitchen where she throws a pot at his face, but he keeps right on coming, totally unaffected by that. And upstairs, dumbass Alex decides to step over the salt line, and at once, both of his parents come flying at him, screaming, arms outstretched.
This is fucking comical, dude. It's like Evil Dead style chase in this super, super tiny hallway.
Yeah.
like the way that they adjust the cameras, it looks like a big pan out, like like in the woods when we're not really. You got that POV.
Right.
For a minute, like I fucking rewatched it a few times. I'm like, holy shit, like this hallway is like 10 foot long.
Right.
Like spin the camera around, make it look like he fucking slams the door all crazy. There's no room to run here is why it's funny.
No, and luckily there's not too much space for him to run because he gets back to his he gets back to his room and slams the door shut. And in the kitchen, Paul just jumps over the island to attack Justine at this point. And she grabs a fucking vegetable peeler. Speaking of Evil Dead, remember the fucking from Evil Dead Rise, the cheese grater scene?
Yeah.
This is kind of what happens to Paul's face.
Yeah.
She fucking pulls back these big old strips of cheek jerky. But his hands are around her throat, and he knocks the peeler away and begins to lift her up, pushing her against the cabinet. And out in the living room, Archer's punching the shit out of James, but this part is fucking hilarious, dude. He keeps knocking him out, but James keeps waking back up and screaming, running at him some more.
Right.
He kicks him behind the couch. Dude. Yeah, kind of.
Very Evil Dead style, like slapstick, really.
Yeah. He
really
boots him
goofy.
behind the couch. He fucking gets up and chases him again. He throws him behind a table like it's the fucking WWE. And there's silence for a second. But then, James gets back up and fucking starts doing it again.
Over and over.
It's so fucking funny. Here's where Archer has his little fucking, "You goddamn freaky little." Finally, James comes up and tackles Archer, but he does so right into the basement door that busts open, and they almost fall down the steps, but not quite. That is, however, when James pushes Archer's face to the side, showing him exactly where all these kids have been this whole time.
Yeah.
Upstairs, Alex's parents are bursting through his door into his room, and his mom gives him a little "here's Johnny."
Yeah.
They finally break in, and he keeps running. He's so lucky the way these rooms are oriented, because he's able to run into a connected bathroom from his room, and then to another room, and then to the hallway.
Like loops around, yeah.
Yeah. But then when he does run out into the hallway, his dad senses him out there, so now he's made it easier to catch him. Mom and Dad run back out into the hall, and Alex runs into his parents, now Gladys's room. Back down in the kitchen, Paul still has Justine by the throat, but she takes his gun and shoots him in his fucking right, like in the middle of his neck, like right in his Adam's apple, she shoots him.
Right, and then in the side of the fucking head, too.
Yeah, because he still doesn't let go, even after he gets shot in the neck.
Right.
She fucking finally shoots him in the side of the head, and finally he goes down. But back upstairs, Alex looks around the room while holding the door shut, looking for anything to help him. That's when we cut back down to James choking Archer, but Justine comes up behind him and shoots him in the head too.
Yeah, nice.
Archer pushes James's body off of him and makes his way down to the basement, looking through all these kids to find Matthew, but he's struggling in the dark. That's when Justine comes back out to see what she's done to Paul, and she drops the gun. Never a good move. But I love the shot of Paul's dead body on the floor next to a bunch of soup cans. Upstairs, Alex's parents do start to break into the room, so he grabs a branch off that tree and, importantly, Gladys's wig off the stand.
Right.
Remember, to do that stick trick, you need some of the person's hair.
Right. Yeah, he fucking locks himself in this bathroom now.
Right. Back in the basement, Archer has pulled out his phone to use his flashlight, still not able to find Matthew. But he turns the light to reveal Gladys down here crouching in the corner, but as soon as she's revealed, she fucking attacks him.
Right, so he was going kid to kid looking for Matthew, you know,
Yeah.
just grabbing, oh, nope, Matthew's screaming, whatever,
Right.
you know, panicking, and yeah, Gladys pops out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, jumps on him like a fucking
Scared the
rabid
shit-
raccoon.
Scared the shit out of me because
Yeah.
it's all black and white kind of down there. You see her
Because
fucking
of
crazy
the-
face.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
In the bathroom upstairs, Alex begins doing the ritual and he pokes his poor little finger. But back in the kitchen, suddenly Archer walks in and attacks Justine. God
See,
damn it. I
and
can't
it- and
believe he got dude.
And it didn't take long, and that's why I had to, I seen Gladys, you know, pop up, but it didn't really hit
Right.
what was going on with Archer. So
Yeah.
when she popped up on him and whatever was down there, evidently had a stick ready to go and her finger fucking poked and cut
Mhm.
some of his hair off, wiped it and broke the fucking...
I don't think she needs his hair to make him attack. That didn't happen with Marcus
Oh,
earlier.
no. Okay, she just needed Justine's hair still.
I think so. She must have still had some, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she had to stick with Justine's shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
But I don't know what the process is for her to get them in her grasp. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever happened there, must have kind of glossed over it earlier in that scene in the kitchen at Marcus's. But fucking Archer puts Justine in a sleeper hold and starts choking the life out of her. When Gladys walks in, she's like, yeah, that's good, just like that. And he begins to lift her into the air, but just then, Alex snaps the stick upstairs, and we hear a ringing sound as the mood changes entirely. Gladys's head turns toward the basement, and we hear just the thundering of 34 little feet pounding up the stairs.
Oh, yeah, she just fucking takes off,
All
dude.
while, Justine is still in Archer's deathlock, and Gladys runs away as the kids come fucking chasing after her.
So, hold on. Why didn't Archer run after Gladys, too?
Because Archer
'Cause it was a
wasn't
different
sent after Gladys. Archer was sent. She's still not dead, so whatever curses she put on there are still in effect. She sent Archer after Justine.
Because Archer doesn't stop right now.
Yeah, Alex is the one that sends
I
the
got
kids
you.
after Gladys.
Okay. I was going to say, why didn't he stop? But no, we're about to talk about that real quick.
But this is the funniest fucking chase/death scene I have ever seen. Gladys goes running through the neighborhood, and I do mean through it, because these kids just come busting out of windows. Fuck doors, they don't mean anything anymore.
Right.
That'll just slow you down. No, they come crashing through all the windows to chase her down. And she literally goes running through people's houses and backyards and shit. The families inside these places are completely taken off guard, and they can't really understand what they're seeing, but the looks on their faces are fantastic.
Yeah, dude, the fucking camera works great.
Oh,
It's all shaky and it goes with it. It's
Yeah.
fucking perfect.
But the kids come right after Gladys, knocking down gates and shit. There's a great moment where Gladys runs across the gap behind a couple of houses while this dude's cutting his grass. And he turns the mower off because he can hear her screaming, and then he sees all the kids come running by after her, also screaming. So fucking funny. But the kids finally catch up to her after this awesome scene of a little fucking hero girl chasing her down, busting through a screen door, busting through a glass door, and eventually jumping out another window to cut Gladys off, finally tackling her to the ground, and that whole time the camera's tracking behind the little girl. And now finally, the rest of the kids catch up and bust through the windows of this house, swarming around Gladys and fucking tearing into her. And not a moment too soon, because back at the house, Justine is close to death, and Alex's parents are starting to get through the bathroom door, and there's nowhere for Alex to run after that. Thankfully, the kids fucking gouge out Gladys's eyes and start biting into her, ripping her apart, tearing off little bits of ear and cheek and whatever, until they just straight up rip her fucking head in half.
Yeah, dude, like from the jaw, like fucking
Yeah.
Day of the Dead.
Which finally breaks the spell and, ends the trance they've all been under. The fucking practical effects here are so phenomenal with her body tearing and holy fucking fuck, man.
Oh, yeah.
Back at the house, Archer drops Justine on the floor, now out of the trance, and he comes to look for Matthew. Thankfully, he's got a fucking trail of destruction to follow.
Yeah.
Interesting, though, that he doesn't say a word to Justine. She wakes up and goes upstairs to check on Alex while Archer walks through the neighbor's house.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
And this dude's yelling about how fucked up his yard is, but that's when the mom inside holding her kid is asking where her kid's shoe is because there's glass everywhere. But now she sees there's a strange man in the kitchen, so she freaks out about that and runs away. And finally, he sees, Archer sees all the kids standing in the front yard of a random house, just staring at the bloody body they just finished fucking mangling. And he sees Matthew and he calls to him. Matthew does respond to his name, though, and Archer wraps him up in a big ol' hug. And at the house, Justine comes around the corner to see Alex hugging his parents on the bathroom floor, but they're just still staring off into nothing. But at least they're not trying to attack him anymore.
Right.
She starts crying tears of relief when the little narrator girl comes back in. She goes, Alex's parents are still being fed soup somewhere, but not by him. He moved to another town and lives with a different aunt. I heard that one is a nice lady. All the kids from his class got reunited with their parents. Some of them even started talking again this year. And it shows that Archer has now picked up Matthew and just started walking home with him. No concern for the rest of the kids. Didn't say a word to anyone. Just starts walking home carrying his boy.
Right.
And the fucking end, I guess. Holy shit.
Yeah, damn, dude.
Appropriately, the song Under the Porch by MGMT starts to play and we cut to credits. But what the shit, man?
Yeah, what a crazy fucking movie.
I do love that once the song of the credits fade out, that initial one, the way the credits roll past now is like along the angle of the triangle on the title card that we've been zooming into slowly the whole time while the main cast credits are shown.
Nice.
Super cool. But yeah, dude, that's all she wrote. What'd you think?
It was a good one, man. Couple loopholes, but there's always fucking loopholes somewhere. You start getting really intricate with stuff.
Can't be perfect.
I think it was good, man. It was a good 2025 movie, I'd say. I thought Alex did a fucking great job, little boy, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name? His actual name?
Carrie Christopher, I think.
Yeah, he did a great job. Gladys was fucking cool. I think the concept was kind of the coolest thing. The witchcraft stuff is right up my alley, you know. Obviously, you start throwing in some fucking missing kids and people get all fucking, you know, touchy with it, and that's kind of why I like it. It's kind of a shocking,
sure.
book.
Yeah. Why not?
It was a good one, though. I think it was a step up from Barbarian. You know,
I think so too. And I loved Barbarian.
Yeah, I think this guy's going in a good direction. You know,
yeah, for sure. Rotten Tomatoes score seems to agree. It's a 93% on there. Is that the highest we've gotten so far? I think so.
Nobody's breaking 90. Get the fuck out of here. I just saw when I was watching this on HBO Max that it said something about Oscar nominee also.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I like stopped and stared. And
I didn't look into any
of that.
Is that
fucking typo? Like Oscar?
I mean, probably for Amy Madigan.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's real crazy.
I mean, the critical reception on this was great. This movie was originally slated to release on January 16th of this year, 2026. But it was pushed up to August 8th, 2025 because of the strong response from test screenings. So everybody loved this, but
right.
I like Empire's quote here. It mentions that Kreger seemed to effortlessly turn parental grief over missing children into a crowd-pleasing subject. The budget on this was $38 million. They ended up racking in $270 million worldwide.
Nice.
And there is the potential for a sequel here. It's been talked about, but Kreger said that he'd like to make other films first. So maybe one day, but that day is not this day.
Okay, I thought I definitely heard that was happening, and it's a prequel. Talking about Gladys.
Oh.
I thought.
Oh, shit.
Maybe
okay.
I'm wrong. I swear to God, I thought me and you talked about this, but maybe not. But probably should just brush up and check to see if that's true.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would be super down. I would love to see anything that Kreger makes from here on out, so far. And I said the same thing about Ari Aster until he made fucking Beau Was Afraid, which I hated.
See, that's where, like, I'm almost like, I'm a big fan of leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that if they are talking about something that it is prequel, because I like where this left. Sometimes less is more. Like, fucking leave it alone.
Sure. But I won't have a problem either way as long as Kreger keeps making movies.
Right.
I want to keep seeing shit from him and the fucking Philippos and fucking
Right.
I do want to see more from Ari Aster. I think there was a movie released last year, but I did not. It was kind of under the radar, so I didn't catch it. But yeah, man, this movie fucking rules. I think I liked it better than Barbarian, like I said. And this is now the third time I've seen it, and I like it better every time.
Yeah,
I love the cinematography. They find such interesting angles in every scene. The score is phenomenal and perfectly sets the mood, which is weird. The mood, that is. The story is weird as fuck, and I love it. I'm not super sure what it is I just watched, but I don't care because it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
The cast are all fantastic, including little Alex. They found a real good little kid actor for this, and I love Brolin in anything I see him in, particularly this in No Country for Old Men. But I think it's Amy Madigan who really steals the show here as Gladys. She's fantastically creepy. Lots of great jump scares in this and an overall unsettling tone. I fucking love it, dude. I gave this one 217 out of 250 ribbon sticks.
Where are those fucking ribbons? Go back and see him. Was that his ribbon for reading enough books this year?
That'd be pretty funny.
I just want to say overall, if we're talking about newer movies, like sometimes the ratings sound good. I don't think I need a rating. I'm just going to say that this is definitely one of the best movies of 2025.
For sure.
I think this one, if you want to see anything newer, this is a must-see for sure.
I would say so for sure. This is between this and Sinners last year. Those were the big, contenders for shit.
I was going to say Bring Her Back in this one.
Bring Her Back as well. Fucking The Substance. I mean, we had a lot of great horror released last year.
Right.
But as it goes for this one, I would recommend you fucking at least check it out, stream it. I would go so far as to say you should fucking buy it and add it to the collection. This is a classic one that, like an instant classic that I would love to have in my collection. But I mean, as far as we're concerned for this episode, I think that's about going to wrap us up. Thanks for hanging out with us. We had a great time, of course. We hope you did too, as always. And remember, dreams are fleeting. Only nightmares last forever. Follow your nightmares.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
I bid you welcome.
Thanks for listening to the Cinebytes podcast. If you like what you heard, follow us on our socials at Cinebytes Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. It really goes a long way in helping us reach more listeners.
You can stream the Cinebytes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and many more popular streaming platforms and YouTube.
Questions or comments? Suggestions for future episodes? Contact us at cinebytespod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show and help us make it a better product for you, subscribe at cinebytespod.buzzsprout.com.
Until next time, keep following those nightmares. I mean, somebody's got to be a designated soup bitch.